stakeholders in existing and all future internet governance, bring them to the attention of the relevant bodies and the general public, and where appropriate, make recommendations. Contribute to the capacity building for internet governance in developing countries, drawing full on local resources and of knowledge and expertise. Promote and access on an ongoing basis the embodiment of WISI's principles in internet governance processes. Discuss inter alia issues related to the critical internet resources. Help to find a solution to the issues arising from the use and the misuse of the internet of particular concern to everyday users, and publish its proceedings. Based on this mandate, the African Internet Governance Forum is hereby to address regional challenges share-based. This year's forum is hosted by the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and an overarching theme, Empowering Africa Digital Future. The forum is conducted in a hybrid format, allowing both in-person and virtual participation. Over 1,200 participants from various nations have been registered. The program consists of the high-level ministerial strategic policy discussion. The Day Zero pre-event took place yesterday on the 29th May, which included a parliamentarian track and a youth track. In addition, the African School for Internet Governance, AfriSIG, took place from 23rd to 28th May 2025 here in Dar es Salaam. After this meeting, the Africa Internet Governance Forum will provide its recommendations into the annual Global Internet Governance Forum, a United Nations convened platform that focuses on global internet policy and governance. Having said so, allow me now to introduce to you the excellencies and the distinguished guests who are here today in this opening forum. Honorable Edward Mpogolo, Ilala District Commissioner and the RC representative. Honorable Lami Jabir, Minister of Republic of Gambia. From Ghana and Rwanda. Ms. Hawa Mbaye, Deputy Permanent Secretary, representing Minister of Infrastructure, Communication and Transport from the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. Honorable Innocent Edward Kalogeris, Member of Parliament, and the representative of the Chairman of the Tanzania Parliament Permanent Committee of Infrastructure. Honorable members from the Parliament of Tanzania, and all honorable members of Parliament from different countries. We have various different members of Parliament here. You can all stand up for recognition. Thank you. Dr. Makta Sheikh, Chief of Section, Emerging and Frontier Technologies, Innovation and Digital Transformation Section, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Honorable Ambassadors, Excellent Christine Grau from EU, Theresia Zetting from Finland. We have United Resident Coordinator in Tanzania, Ms. Susan Ngongi Namongo, and we have Head of UNESCO, Michael Toto. Dr. Emmanuel Manasseh, the ITU Regional Director for Africa. Mr. Mohamed Yamis Abdullah, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Communication and Information Technology, and all Permanent Secretaries present here. Mr. Chengtai Masango, the Head of United Nations Secretariat here. The Africa IGF Secretariat. Honorable Halji Mboy, Africa IGF MAG Chair, and all Africa MAG members. Please stand. Private sector. We have representative of the permanent secretaries here. We have the management team from the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, management team of the ministry. We have heads and representatives of financial institutions. We have partners and sponsors present here. We have also delegates from different nations. There are many nations. Guest of honor, I am resubmit.
Especially on the introduction and the recognition of the Deputy Minister of Communication and Digital Technology from the Republic of South Africa. Few remarks. Karibu sana.
Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Honorable Minister and Deputy Ministers, distinguished delegates, all protocol observed. Honorable guest of honor, the historical and beautiful city of Dar es Salaam. Honorable guests of honor, we congratulate you on the great job you are doing to help our beloved President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. It is just yesterday we saw you in Dodoma attending the CCM General Congress, and today you are with us here. Congratulations. Distinguished delegates and invitees, you are welcome to Dar es Salaam and feel at home away from home. You will learn some Swahili words, the language which is one of the major languages in Africa. Originate from the African tribes spoken by many African countries. And we learn some of our Tanzania culture. On behalf of the Regional Commissioner, we wish you a success this meeting. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you, your honorable guest of honor. Thank you.
Asante sana. Honorable Edward Mpogolo, the Ilala District Commissioner, has made his remarks representing the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner. Let's give him another round of applause. Asante sana. Guest of honor, allow me to continue to recognize the presence of Abdul Richard Idris Noor. He is an advisor to the Minister of Communication, member of the African Working Group on Artificial Intelligence of the African Union, all the way Huawei here in Tanzania, for his remarks, to be followed by those at Governance Forum happening in Tanzania.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, Honorable Minister present, distinguished guests, media present, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and the privilege to stand before you today at the Africa Internet Governance Forum. Here in the beautiful land of Tanzania, on behalf of Huawei Tanzania, I would like to extend the deepest gratitude to the organizers for convening this critical dialogue under the theme of empowering Africa's digital future. The forum presents the pivotal moment for the Africa where policymakers, regulators, innovators, and thought leaders come together to shape an internet governance framework that is made in Africa, by Africa, for Africa. At Huawei, we believe that the collectivity is more than just the technology, as is the catalyst for the transformation and infrastructure, enhance skills and drive the innovation. But as it accelerates Africa's digital journey, we must also address key challenges such as ensuring digital growth is inclusive, empowering women, young marginalized groups, braving the digital drive between the urban and rural communities, strengthening cybersecurity and data sovereignty in interconnected world that we live in now. Our approach as a Huawei is rooted in long-term partnership and sustainable impact, such as expanding collectivity, driving green and secure innovation, investing in digital talents through our initiatives like the Seeds for Future, ICT Academy, ICT Competition, and the DigiTrack program, which also indicates that we are training not only Tanzania, but Africa's next generation for digital leaders. The future Africa Internet must be African-led. Here today in Tanzania, let's thank Tanzania for welcoming us with open hand and collaborating with us. Let's continue to join hands.
To Mr. Vincent Wen, Board Member, Vice President of Huawei Tanzania. Honorable guest of honor, as we are making progress, allow me to
Your Excellencies, Ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Millennium Anthony, and I serve as the coordinator of the Tanzania Youth IGF, and also part of the Africa Internet Governance Forum. It's an incredible honor to speak before you here today, representing the voices, dreams, and drive of the Africa's youth at the Africa Internet Governance Forum. The internet and digital technologies are not only transforming how we live and work, but they're also opening new doors of innovation, expression, engagement, especially among youth. Yet, we must also recognize that access to these opportunities remains unequal, and that far too many young people, just like the IGF, are so important because they bring together governments, civil society, private sector, and youth to build a digital ecosystem that is open, safe, inclusive, and empowering for all. As youth, we are not just future users of the internet. We are the active builders of it today. We are coding apps, we are building platforms, we are launching startups, but we are also defending human rights online and pushing boundaries of innovation, often with limited resources but unlimited potential. We are ready to engage in policy to bring fresh perspective and to help shape the kind of internet that leaves no one behind. I am proud to say that during yesterday's Africa Youth IGF Day, we witnessed our youth and will serve as the input of the Global Youth Summit that will take place and the partners for their commitment and efforts to support young people by providing platforms to contribute to discussions and actively participate in conversation like this across the continent and beyond. However, there's still more to be done. Those with disabilities and those from marginalized communities continue to face major barriers. We need targeted investment on digital skills development, access to affordable and reliable internet infrastructure, spaces where youth voices are heard, not just included, support for youth-led innovation and research, and strong online protection mechanisms that safeguard our rights while promoting digital to ask the hard questions, to share our lived experiences, to propose bold solutions, and to reimagine a digital Africa that reflects our creativity, resilience, and bold ideas. Let us ensure that intergenerational collaboration is not just a slogan, but a shared responsibility. We call on stakeholders here today to engage alongside to us, to listen to youth, to take our voices not as tokens, but as equal partners in digital development. Let this Africa IGF be a turning point where we move from conversations to commitment, from inclusion to empowerment, and from potential to impact. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Millennium Malamla, representative of the Africa Internet Governance Forum, for your beautiful remarks. Guest of honor, I believe you'll agree with me of the two sayings. One, Africa remains the youthful continent, and we are delighted to have the young people like Ms. Malamla to really drive the agenda. But the second one, they say if you want to know the future of any continent, look at its youthful population, and literally from that representation, the brightest future for Africa. Guest of honor, allow me now to ask us to pay our attention to the screen as we watch a brief video on Tanzania's progress to as far as the digital economy is concerned.
Nitailinda na kuitetea Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania kwa mujibu wa sheria iliyowekwa. Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie.
The United Republic of Tanzania, a country within the African Great Lakes region, and it is an East African country known for its vast wilderness areas. They include the plains of Serengeti National Park, a safari mecca populated by the Big Five, the elephant, lion, leopard, buffalo and rhino, and the Kilimanjaro National Park, home to Africa's highest mountain. In the offshore lies the tropical islands of Zanzibar and Mafia, with a marine park home to whales, sharks, and coral reefs. Tanzania's digital transformation journey has not been easy. Like other countries, Tanzania established e-government agency back in 2012. These early efforts made by the government of Tanzania were to begin the first stage of digital transformation journey, which was digitization managed by e-government. The government of Tanzania established the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology to set a ground into a second stage of digitalization and transforming this beautiful, blessed country of Africa. In contrast to the first stage of digitization managed by e-government, the ministry came into place to enforce digitalization and provide e-governance in the country. Through this e-governance initiative, the ministry managed to prepare the first and 10 years digital economy strategic framework that was launched by Her Excellency, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, on July 29, 2024. To set the foundation for implementation of digital economy, the ministry prepared the Tanzania Enterprise Architecture Framework, the Tanzania Interoperability and Standardization Framework, the Digital Public Infrastructure Blueprint, and the 2024 Tanzania Technology Stack. Tanzania Stack includes a set of open APIs and digital public goods that aim to unlock the economic primitives of identity, data, and payments at population scale. The stack has 3 layers, namely enabling layer, digital public infrastructure layer, and application layer. The 3 key pillars of this Tanzania technology found on the DPI layer, to name them, are digital payment, digital identity, and data sharing. These 3 pillars in the stack have been named using the beautiful Swahili language, which is originating from Tanzania, namely Jamii Namba as digital identity, Jamii Malipo as digital payment, and Jamii Exchange as data exchange. Tanzania has seen Jamii Namba issued to over 25 million residents who are over 18 years. The efforts are ongoing to issue the number to under 18 years of age. The Jamii Malipo, which is interoperable digital financial service, sets a platform for over 1,000 trends that go through Tanzania instant payment system daily, that also connects all mobile money, banks, and non-banks. The efforts are ongoing to have Jamii Namba enabled payment that is expected to raise the economy of this country of exchange solution, probably in the Horn of Africa, that facilitate a smooth data exchange engine built with the consent at the core. The Jamii Exchange has privacy and security by design, and at the center of this engine, it is personal data protection. Jamii Exchange comes at the right time where African countries need to have a platform for cross-border data flow. To strengthen the e-governance through the ministry, the government established ICT Commission, which is responsible for overseeing national ICT policy, enacted the 2022 Personal Data Protection Act, and established its course for Cross-Border Protection Commission. These and many more efforts has set Tanzania readiness to enter into personal government stage, which is the highest stage and a vision obtained after successful digital transformation. With personal government, Jamii Portal and Jamii Wallet are among building blocks and use cases that will see the country smoothly transform itself among global digital economic powers. With Jamii Exchange, the President of Tanzania, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, is proud to welcome all African countries to participate on this Suluhu platform for cross-border data sharing between countries. It is high time now Africa sets regulatory framework to enable use of data sharing within and outside the borders by leveraging the Jamii Exchange developed by African innovators for African people to support digital transformation in Africa for economic development of our people. God bless Tanzania. God bless Africa. Na kazi iendelee.
Asante sana. Guest of honor, allow me once again to continue to recognize the wonderful presence of the UN delegates that we have. If you know you're coming from the UN family, please, if you can please rise. I can see UNESCO is here, UNDP. Thank you so much for being with us. Excellency, we also have Excellencies, ambassadors, diplomatic members of the diplomatic community. We have the European Union and other development partners. If you can also please rise, we continue to recognize your presence. Thank you very much. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. This is why, in the spirit of Partnership Goal 17, we have them with us. Guest of honor, allow me now to invite to the podium, she's already on the stage, Miss Soreen, to take us through the next set of program. Karibu sana.
Thank you. All protocol observed. My name is Soreen Asafa. I am the coordinator for the African IGF Secretariat under the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa Forum, held under the theme of Empowering Africa's Digital Future. This forum takes place at the critical moment, just ahead of the 20 years review of World Summit on Information Society, WISIS Plus 20, and the ongoing consultation of Global Digital Compact implementation. This milestone reminds us of the long road we started from WISIS, Geneva 2003 and Tunis 2005, to establish the Internet Governance Forum, a multi-stakeholder platform created to foster an inclusive dialogue on digital public policies. And that is what makes IGF so powerful. It belongs to everyone, the government, the civil society, the private sector, and the youth, also including the technical community, academia, and every stakeholder, every citizen has a seat on the table. There is a proverb we know well across Africa. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Well, this is how far we go far. This forum is the spirit of multi-stakeholderism. It's not just about policy. It is about principles, it is partnership, and it is progress. Today, we are honored to be joined by leaders who embody the same spirit of going together. We'll be joining by Her Excellency Ambassador Christine Gra, representing the European Union, a long-standing ally in championing digital rights, securing infrastructure, and Africa and EU collaboration. And also will be joining us with Honorable Alhaji Imbo. He is the chair of Africa IGF Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group, who are the program director of this forum, who remind us of the critical role of regional voice in the global internet governance discourse. The third one will be followed by Mr. Changatai Masengo. He is the head of the Global IGF Secretariat, who tireless effort ensuring that the IGF remain an evolving, inclusive and action-oriented platform. Also will be followed by a powerful message from Ms. Doreen Bogan Martin, the ITU Secretary General. As you know, ITU played a fundamental role in WIS's process cooperation. Last but not least, my leader, hosting the Africa IGF Secretariat and making sure that our internet governance process are aligned to the Africa Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, and the AU Digital Transformation Strategy. These leaders bring out not only experience, but the vision, and as we move from WISs to IGF, and from the global dialogue to the African action, from promises to implementation, together their insight will ground us in a journey from the global vision to the Africa action and to the dialogue and implementation. With that said, I'm going to give the floor to Honorable Ambassador Christine Gra. Thank you.
Honorable guest of honor, the Prime Minister of Communication and Information Technologies, honorable chairs, honorable ministers and deputy ministers from the whole African continent, distinguished members of parliament, senior government officials, representative of the European Union, the African Union, development partners, civil society, private sector, academia, and last but not least, the youth. Habari za asubuhi. Good morning. Bonjour à tous. Obviously, dear Minister, I'm not Christine Rau, the ambassador, like you can see. She had other important engagement, and I'm proud to represent the European Union today. It's a big pleasure and an honor for me to be with you today for this African Internet Governance Forum. I would start my speech by thanking a lot those organizers, and I'm really proud to be in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania with all the African continent in this room. So thank you so much for the organizers, and very proud that Tanzania could organize that meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, our planet is now like a village. Our friends from Mwanza are instantly aware of the last speeches and declaration of the US President. It is at the same time very exciting, but also a bit worrying. Exciting because, of course, those new digital means and digital connectivities are very important in terms of safety, security. It gives grounds also to improve health system, education system. It's also important to be transparent and open from the political and the other point of view. Internet, of course, is a game changer with regard to trade, commerce, means of and regional organization, but at the same time it's a bit worrying also. Because, of course, internet and digital connectivity means cyber insecurity, disinformation, misinterpretation of declarations, cyber crimes also, but also it could be a threat to personal data protection. So we all agree that the digital revolution should be framed closely in an harmonized and secured way. This is exactly the theme of this year's meeting, Empowering Africa's Digital Future. The EU vision, European Union vision of internet space is exactly following those lines. We need together to have an open, secured and anchored in respect of human rights digital space. Our digital partnership between the African Union and the European Union is therefore based on three major pillars. The first pillar is obviously the necessity to be harmonized and coordinated. From the EU data policy framework to the digital transformation strategy for Africa, important steps are being already taken. And we completely support, as the European Union, the single African digital market. The second pillar is more a pillar related to infrastructures, digital infrastructure. We are here speaking about submarine cable, optical fiber, data center, satellite connection, backbone, and last-mile connectivity. It's important that everybody is connected to have a safe and secure access to internet. And that's where the Global Gateway initiative of the European Union, of course, is helping your countries to invest in those important infrastructures. And the last pillar is obvious also, is based on governance, human-based action. We are here speaking about working together for the institutional strengthening, for the legal frameworking, for the cyber security and the digital safety. So as you can see, Africa's digital development is one of the top priorities of the European Union and certainly one of the top priorities of the Global Gateway initiative of the European Union. And it won't diminish in the years to come. On the contrary. So our common goals are to deal together at best with fast-changing technologies in the most appropriate way for our respective government and for our respective citizens. Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Now we will have a remark from the MAX chair for the African IGF, Honorable Alhaji Mbo. He is a member of Parliament of the Gambian National. He is a member of the Pan-African Parliament.
Honorable Jerry William Salaam, Minister for Communication and Information Technology, United Republic of Tanzania. Honorable Lamin Jabi, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, the Gambia. The Minister for Information and Digital Economy from Malawi. Representative from the Ministry of Digital Economy, Mozambique. The Deputy Minister, Republic of South Africa, Monli Ngungubeli. Honorable Members of Parliament, Dr. Matar Sek, Chief Section, Emerging and Frontier Technologies, UNECA. Ms. Doreen Bojan Martin, Secretary General, ITU. The Chairperson of the Global IGF, Madam Carol Roche, and the representative of the Secretariat, Ms. Celine Bal, the MAC members of the Africa IGF, the Global IGF, and the Youth IGF, distinguished delegates, colleagues, partners, friends, all protocols observed. Good morning to you all, and welcome to the Africa Internet Governance Forum 2025, hosted in Dar es Salaam, the United Republic of Tanzania. Now, I must exercise my small Swahili. Karibu sana nchi tukufu ya Tanzania. It is both a privilege and a profound responsibility to stand before you today as chair of the Africa IGF, which is a multi-stakeholder advisory group, at a time when Africa's digital journey is more significant, more complex, and more promising than ever before. Our theme of the year, which is shaping Africa's digital future, which is inclusive governance for resilience, innovation, and equity, is both a reflection and a call to action. It reflects the reality that Africa is no longer a passive observer in the digital governance ecosystem. We are a region of 1.5 billion people, a young, vibrant population, and rapidly growing digital economy. But we are also a continent where inequalities persist, where infrastructure gaps remain wide, and where voices, especially those of women, youth, and marginalized communities, must be amplified and empowered. And so the team calls us to build a digital future that is not only connected and innovative, but one that is just, inclusive, and resilient. The 13th Annual African School of Internet Governance, AfriCSIG, is a cornerstone of our progress. It was convened by the Association for Progressive Communication, APC, the Information Society Division of the African Union, and Research ICT Africa. This significant event was held in collaboration with the United Nations Commission for Africa, UNECA, and the UN Internet Governance Forum Parliamentary Track, bringing together over 40 students and 18 faculty resource persons. Over the 2 decades, AfriCSIG has been a silent powerhouse, building a cadre of African digital governance experts who are shaping policy at national and regional levels, and at civil society leaders, engineers, researchers, entrepreneurs, and chairs of process like this very forum. AfriCSIG is proof that investing in capacity is investing in Africa's future, voice, and vision in global digital spaces. It is time to scale it, to support it, and integrate it further into our regional and national strategies. As we stand on the threshold, the IGF must evolve, not in ways that compromise its openness and multi-stakeholder nature, but in ways that enhance its impact, accessibility, and implementation. It must better link the regional and national processes, and Africa must be at the center of those reforms. With clarity, Africa must speak with unity, and Africa must and the protection of human rights online, including freedom of expression, privacy, and safety. The GDC must not become a set of ideals, diverse from implementation. Africa must push for actionable mechanisms with accountability and measurable outcomes. As we shape our path, we must also align the existing frameworks. The digital transformation strategy for the Africa 2020-2030 provides a roadmap for inclusive growth. Looking at the AU data policy framework is a blueprint for must serve the broader goals of integration, prosperity, and peace. Internally, our engagement with CIS+20, the GDC, E-Trade for all, ITUs, WTDC, and others must be strategic and value-driven. Africa must not only be consulted, we must be creators ends in themselves. Our work must influence policy, change lives, and build systems that serve people, not just platforms. Strength, and above all, with conviction. From AfriCSIG to Africa IGF, from CIS+20 to the GDC, our task is very clear: to ensure that the internet and all emerging digital technologies work for the many, not just for few. for development and not for division, and for dignity and not for domination. Equally, we must take charge of our digital sovereignty as a nation and as a continent. Our future lies in our own hands, and we must take charge now. Let us build the digital future together for a better and prosperous Africa. Thank you all. Asante sana.
Thank you, Honorable. We would like to recognize the presence of the UN Resident Coordinator for Tanzania, Ms. Susan Nomando. Thank you. We also would like to recognize the Global IGF Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group Chair, Ms. Carol Roche. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Okay, next we will have Mr. Changatai Masengo. He is the head of the United Nations Secretariat for the Internet Governance Forum. He will be joining us online. Thank you, Changatai. Now we have a video message from Ms. Doreen Bogwan Martin from the Secretary General of the International Telecommunication Union. Sorry. Thank you.
On behalf of the International Telecommunication Union, I offer heartfelt congratulations to the United Republic of Tanzania on the launch of your revised foreign policy and on the documentary showcasing your global engagement since 1961. Tanzania joined the ITU in 1962 and has been an active member state ever since, serving on the ITU Council, the Radio Regulations Board, and contributing to the work of all three ITU sectors. A pivotal moment came in 1985 when the world gathered in Arusha to tackle the missing link, the urgent challenge of bringing every household on Earth within easy reach of a telephone. Tanzania was where the world committed to connectivity as a driver of development and opportunity for all of humanity. 40 years later, our shared vision continues to evolve. Today's missing links are meaningful access to the internet, digital skills, and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. As we continue to shape our shared digital future, I have every confidence Tanzania will continue to lead with a foreign policy that embraces the infrastructure, innovation, and partnerships needed for everyone to thrive across the African region and beyond. I thank President Samia Suluhu Hassan for her commitment to multilateralism and digital diplomacy. And on behalf of the ITU family, I congratulate you again on these historic milestones. Thank you.
We'd like to recognize our partners, starting from ICANN, ISOC, in the EU, in the German Corporation, in all our local partners. Also the Secretariat partnership between UNECA and the African Union that will lead us to the next remark from Dr. Maktasek. He is the Chief of Section for Emerging and Frontier Technologies, Innovation and Digital Transformation Section at the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Thank you.
Good morning. Bonjour, assalamu alaikum. Jambo. Honorable Minister of Communication and Technology of United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Mr. Lamin Jabi, my brother and friend, Minister of ICT and Innovation of the Gambia, Honorable Minister of ICT of the Republic of Malawi, Honorable Deputy Minister ICT from South Africa, representative of the Minister of Chad, Mozambique, Member of Parliament, representative of UN Family, Chair of Honorable Member of the Parliament, Chair of the African IGF MAG, representative of youth, estimated delegate. It is an honor to host the 14th edition of African Internet Governance Forum. Let me begin by extending my deep appreciation to the government and people of the United Republic of Tanzania for hosting this important event. Our gratitude goes to His Excellency, Honorable Minister for Communication, Information and Technology, for ensuring that this annual meeting of Internet Governance Forum is both meaningful and inclusive for all. It is not the first time we have this collaboration with the minister. We organize also the African Union Commission, as well as the African Internet Governance Multi-Advisory Group, chaired by my brother Elajimbo, and all stakeholders who contribute to this highly commitment with a few months. Several speakers already talked about on the objective of the Internet Governance Forum. But let me summarize quickly. It has been 20 years we adopted the World Summit of Information, particularly the Declaration of Principle and the working definition of Internet governance. The digital landscape, driven by the rapid technology advancement, such as generative AI, blockchain, and the expansion of Internet of Things, cybersecurity challenge, and all issues related to the environment present as both complex opportunity and challenge for Africa digital transformation. Let me highlight some issues. I'm going to start by the bad news before the good news. Africa is the least internet connectivity across the world, with 62% of our population offline. We have 82% coverage by the mobile network, but 70% people living in this area are not connected. Also, another issue, it is an application on issue on related to the content. When you look at internet now, on the local content, we have Kiswahili, we have also Amara and other language. They account for 0.1% on the web content. Means our local content, our local language are not well represented in the web. And in Africa, we have more than 2,000 local languages. But we have seen a lot of progress made by African government. And now all African governments use digital technology as a key driver for socio-economic development. We have seen a lot of progress since 2005. In 2005, the connectivity was 2.1%. Today, we have 38% connected. Means with 2005, we have 17 million people connected. Now we have about 700 million people connected. I can give you a good example. Let's take the example of Tanzania. In 2005, Tanzania, the connectivity was 2.1%. Today, Tanzania has 75% connectivity. And Tanzania is among the 10 top countries leading connectivity in the continent and the #1 in East Africa. I think, Honorable Minister, the country can come to learn how we increase connectivity. Also, we develop a lot of application in the rural area, rural sector. We have seen a lot of application in Kenya, in Ghana. It seems we are making a lot of progress. Also, all good news, Africa lead the mobile money revolution. We have 1.1 billion mobile money account, and the transaction is now 1.1 trillion million in transaction. This represents 74% of the world transaction. Let me come back to the theme today, empowering Africa digital future. This means there is an imperative to build a resilient framework, foster innovation, driven policy. We need innovation for our continent. With our youth population, we need to promote innovation and to put an adequate regulation. Also, we need this digital sovereignty and also an equitable access to technology for all. And we can expect a strong message to come from this meeting. And as the Economic Commission for Africa, we believe effort should focus on 6 points. The first, we need to build a resilient digital public infrastructure. It is a key now for the development. We need to harmonize our regulation to remove the barrier to connectivity as we are implementing the African Free Trade Area. Cybersecurity and privacy is a big challenge we need to overcome to this cyber crime. Private sector involvement is the key. Alone, government can't develop infrastructure and the digital technology. We need an involvement of the private sector in the development of the infrastructure. Multi-stakeholder approach, it is a key to tackle the challenge of digital technology in Africa. African Internet Governance Forum, it is a good example. The Global Internet Governance Forum is another one. And we hope we are going to expand to renew the mandate of IGF with a secure funding mechanism for the next 5 years. We need to develop also the competency, the digital skills for our youth generation. It's very important to be key actor in this industrial revolution. Allow me, before to conclude, to address our youth who will represent around 42% of the world youth by 2050. Yesterday, we had a very good youth summit. And the summit showed our youth are very smart. And they have a lot of great ideas. I think you have, the representative of youth was in the podium now. It is, I think she had a very good speech. But let me say, as a young people, you are the architect of tomorrow's landscape. This landscape belongs to you. You will play an active and leading role as provider of digital goods and service as well consuming them. Your creativity, critical thinking, communication and collaboration as well as vision and passion for technology will determine the future of AI, cybersecurity, blockchain, and other fields. This forum is not just about discussion. It is about action, collaboration, and empowerment. It is about ensuring access, inclusivity, sustainability in the digital space. At UNECA and as a UN member, we are already have a global mandate to act under the Global Digital Compact and the WSIS Forum. Distinguished delegates, now in this decade of action is the best time to develop secure and reliable digital system. We at ACA stand ready to facilitate the process with African Union and all member states. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a successful and productive conference. Thank you.
Asante, asante, asante sana, Dr. Makta Sek, Chief of Section of the UNECA, for your kind remarks. Allow me to borrow from your very end of your remark when you said the young people are the architects of tomorrow's landscape. We have to bear this at mind and at heart. Let's give him another warm round of applause. Thank you so much. Guest of honor, the members of parliament present from all over Africa were introduced, but in their honor once again and their dedication, allow me to request them once again to rise so we can acknowledge once again your presence. All the members of parliament present, if you can please rise. Let's put our hands together for all of them. Fantastic. Our guest of honor is also a member of parliament, except he's also a minister. but in a very special way, he is also representing the Deputy Prime Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania. Kindly take your seats. Thank you very much. Guests of honor, I'm sure you're aware that we have over 40 African countries, delegates present in this forum. So let's put our hands together for all of us present in this meeting. Allow me now, guest of honor, to invite to the podium Mr. Michael Toto, UNESCO country representative, for his brief remarks, which will be followed by those of Mr. Mohammed Hamis Abdullah, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Communication and Information. Karibu sana, Mr. Toto, for your remarks as he comes. Let's give him a warm round of applause. Karibu sana.
Honorable Minister Jerry Sila, Minister of Communication and Information Technology, our guest of honor today. Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers present today, leaders and officials here present, Excellencies, dear UN Resident Coordinator, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Good morning, Bariza Leo. It is a great honor for me to be here today to officially hand over the Tanzania Artificial Intelligence Readiness Assessment Report, an important step that positions the country in a leading African continent. This report translates the fruitful cooperation between UNESCO and the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, and especially the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, whose leadership in supporting this ambitious and timely initiative is highly appreciated. This report is a reaffirmation of the commitment of Tanzania to the implementation of the UNESCO, the world's first global standard on ethical governance on artificial intelligence, adopted in 2021 by 193 member states, but also to the UN Global Digital Compact and the EU Continental Strategy on AI. The report is the outcome of an inclusive process involving ownership in building the country's AI future. The report outlines priorities and provides recommendations to guide the country's next step in developing its national AI strategies on national values to accelerating Tanzania's transition towards responsible AI adoption, deployment, and use in an enabling environment. In African Internet Governance Forum sends a powerful message. Tanzania is not only adopting technology, but is shaping its own artificial intelligence future. So this process allowing Tanzania to join worldwide. As official partner to the South African G20 Presidency Task Force on AI, UNESCO is working to ensure that African perspectives on AI governance are reflected in global AI policy discussion and fora. The upcoming third UNESCO Global Forum on the 80s of AI at the end of June in Bangkok will be another opportunity for such experience sharing, and I'm pleased for its close cooperation. To our national partners, especially the Tanzania Initiative, Dar es Salaam office here in Tanzania. UNESCO stands ready to continue supporting Tanzania in finalizing and implementing its national AI strategy. Through our experts, your Honorable Minister, that I officially hand over this strategic report, this strategic document to you, Honorable Minister, today. in the presence of our distinguished partners and our distinguished guests. Thank you.
Asante sana, asante Mr. Mkutano, UNESCO country representative. Thank you very much.
To citizens through digital systems has evolved significantly. This transformation developed and managed ICT policies. This initiative involved collaboration with various stakeholders, including government ministries, private sector entities, development partners like the World Bank and the European Union, civil organizations, and other interested parties. In July 2024, the strategy was officially launched by Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President. Culture, health, and education can leverage ICT to enhance service delivery and promote national welfare and economic development. The 6 pillars of the digital economy strategy. The first pillar focuses on creating and enabling digital infrastructure, which is foundational for the digital economy. This infrastructure comprises hard and soft components. Hard infrastructure includes the national ICT. Tanzania achieved Tier 1 status. The country achieved a perfect compliance score across all 5 key cybersecurity pillars. With incident response, issues timely alerts, and fosters collaboration between public and private sectors to mitigate cyber threats effectively. Operating under the Tanzania Communications Regulatory Authority (TCR) Public Infrastructure Blueprint. These guidelines aim to ensure an inclusive environment for ICT utilizing private sector to promote ICT opportunities to harness their creativity productively. The strategy supports startups to boost employment and income for the youth. The National ICT Innovation and Startup Portal will connect large companies, researchers, and designers with young entrepreneurs to foster the digital economy. The 5th pillar, ethnicity or economic status, ensuring everyone can participate in the digital economy. The 6th pillar focuses on enabling digital financial services. The central bank will regulate and manage digital financial transactions, ensuring customer security and adherence to online protection guidelines. The Tanzania Revenue Authority will set targets for tax collection from the digital economy. Digital financial services facilitate quick and secure money transfers, digital payments, such as QR code, POS, LIPA number, and access to loans. The Tanzania Instant Payment System TIPS integrates financial systems, including the government's Digital Payment System GEPG, increasing government revenue by reducing income loss. Execution and review. Tanzania fosters collaboration between government, private sector, and academia to pool resources, share expertise, and develop tailored policies. The execution of this strategy will involve collaboration between public and private sector under the National Business Council (TNBC). Given the rapid pace of technological change, the strategy will be reviewed triennially. God bless Tanzania. God bless Africa. Na kazi iendelee.
Asante studio for a video. Honorable guest of honor, allow me to invite Mr. Mohammed Hamis Abdullah, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, for his remark. Karibu sana.
Honorable William Slaa, the Minister of Communication, Information and Information Technology from the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorables Ministers and Deputy Ministers for ICT and Digitalization from different countries, distinguished delegates, all protocol observed. Habari ya mchana, I think it's afternoon now. Good afternoon all. First of all, let me take this opportunity to humbly thank you, Honorable Guest of Honor, for dedicating your valuable time to officially open this 14th Africa Internet Governance Forum, IGF. Your presence here is a clear sign of the sixth phase government's sincere commitment to developing the communication sector, not only for Tanzania, but for the entire African continent. Let me also extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Africa Internet Governance Secretariat under the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, and the African Union for their excellent collaboration with the team of the ministry in the preparation of this important forum. You have indeed done a great job. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much. Honorable Guest of Honor, the Internet Governance Forum, IGF, is an international forum that brings together various stakeholders to discuss in-depth policy and regulatory issues related to the development of the Internet. The forum was established following the decisions of the World Summit of the Information Society, OSS, held in Tunis in 2005, and it was approved by the United Nations General Assembly. Since then, IGF meetings have been held annually at the global and regional levels, involving stakeholders from governments, parliaments, United Nations agencies, international organizations, ICT companies, the private sector, civil society, academia, and development partners. This Africa IGF, as a regional forum for Africa, is a key opportunity to raise and discuss policy challenges and opportunities in ICT development in Africa, and to develop joint strategies for Africa's digital future. Honorable Guest of Honor, this year's forum focuses on enabling Africa's digital future, where key topics will cover digital public infrastructure, DPI, and the data governance, cyber security, resilience and trust, artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, universal access and meaningful communication services, as well as digital cooperation aimed at fostering an inclusive and sustainable digital economy. Today, we are gathered here to discuss in depth how Africa can achieve its digital future. The world is currently on the edge of the fourth, fifth, and sixth industrial revolution, which are driven by modern technologies such as big data, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, robotics, drones, and more. It is clear that we cannot ignore ICT. It is a clear enabler in achieving a modern economy based on knowledge and innovation. These technologies have the potential to transform every sector of life, including energy, health, education, transport, security, agriculture, and environment management. They can connect citizens to essential services, improve access to information, and help people access life-changing opportunities. But none of this can achieve without supportive and enabling policies and regulatory environment. Honorable Guest of Honor, the digital economy, which relies on digital infrastructure, platforms, digital public goods, services, businesses, and skills, has become a key pillar for reducing poverty and improving people's lives. However, we still face significant challenges in Africa. For example, as of 2024, the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, reports that a third of the world population was still offline. Most of them were in Africa. Although 85% of Africans are covered by high-speed 3G internet infrastructure. Only 38% of people have used the services, compared to the global average of 68%. Meanwhile, disparities. 57% of urban people use the internet, compared to 23% in rural areas. Furthermore, only 31% of women in Africa were connected, compared to 43% of men. This is a significant gap that needs to be addressed. Honorable guest of honor. Also, the cost of services remains a challenge. The media price of an entry-level mobile broadband plan is 2G per month in Africa, accounted for 4.2% of a gross national income per capita, more than double the United Nations Broadband Commission, which is a target of 2%. Honorable guest of honor, all of this makes us realize that we have shared responsibility to invest in modern infrastructure, eliminate gender and geographical gaps, improve digital literacy, and ensure cyber security for current and future generations. On this basis, the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, under the strong leadership of Her Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, has seen the importance of hosting this major conference. Her Excellency, the President, launched the National Digital Economy Strategy with 6 pillars, as we saw in the video, which outlines the key steps to take Tanzania towards a modern digital-based economy. The government believes that this technology not only brings productivity, but also provides answers to major challenges in sectors such as education, health, energy, agriculture, transportation, and even disaster management. By using ICT, we can have more accountable government, one that delivers services quickly and efficiently, a government that listens to its citizens. Honorable guest of honor, with great respect and on behalf of all participants, I would like now to formally information technology of the United Republic of Tanzania to address us and officially open this 14th Africa Internet Governance Conference. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa.
Honorable Edward Mpogolo, Ilala District Commissioner and Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Representative, Honorable Ministers, Deputy Ministers responsible for ICT and representatives from different countries, recognize representation from Gambia, Malawi, South Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, Mozambique, Chad, Ms. Hawa Mbaye, Deputy Permanent Secretary, representing Minister of Infrastructure, Communication and Transport from the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, Honorable Innocent Kalogorest, Member of Parliament and representative of the Chairman of the United Republic of Tanzania Permanent Committee on Infrastructure, and other members of Parliament from the United Republic of Tanzania. We recognize the presence of Honorable Amina Mzee and Honorable Engineer Mwanaisha Ulenge. Honorable members of Parliament from all parliaments from different countries of Africa present here today, Dr. Mekta Sek, Chief of Section Emerging and Frontier Technologies, Innovation and Digital Transformation Section from United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, Engineer Dr. Kazaura Kamugisha, Director of Infrastructure and Energy from Africa Union, and all AU delegates present, Ms. Doreen Bogdan Martin, Secretary General of International Telecommunication Union, represented here today, honorable ambassadors and representatives from international organizations present here, Dr. Emmanuel Manasseh, ITU Regional Director for Africa, Mr. Mohammed Hamis Abdullah, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Communication and Information Technology from the United Republic of Tanzania, and all permanent secretaries present here, Mr. Chengetai Masango, Head of the United Nations Secretariat for Internet Governance Forum, and all UN IGF Secretariat present here, Africa IGF Secretariat, Ms. Millennium Anthony Malamla, Youth IGF representative, and all youth representative and delegates present in this conference, Honorable Alagie Bow, Africa IGF Mag Chair,
wakilishi wa makatibu wakuu, viongozi wa taasisi za elimu, viongozi wa taasisi za fedha, management kutoka Wizara ya Mawasiliano na Teknolojia, washirika wote, wabia wote na wafadhili wote, wajumbe kutoka nchi mbalimbali waliopo hapa, waandishi wa habari, habari za mchana. Waheshimiwa washiriki, mabibi na mabwana, ni heshima kubwa sana na nafasi ya pekee kusimama mbele yenu kama mgeni rasmi katika mkutano huu muhimu sana wa 14 wa Jukwaa la
First and foremost,
Afrika.
I would like to take
Kwanza
this
kabisa ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kushukuru Mungu wetu kwa kutupa maisha na kutuwezesha kushiriki kwenye jukwaa hili. Jukwaa hili ni muhimu sana kwa maendeleo ya sekta ya mtandao hapa Afrika na dunia nzima.
Let me take this opportunity
fursa hii pia kuweza kuwashukuru management ya wizara
pamoja na the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa for organizing this important meeting and inviting the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, who due to the overlap of responsibilities have directed me to represent the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Mashaka Biteko, on her behalf in the role of opening this meeting. I bring you her greetings, she welcomes you to Dar es Salaam, and wish you all the best in this important meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, I also take this opportunity to thank the African Union and the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, for choosing Tanzania to host this African Internet Governance Forum, which is an important platform to discuss the future of digital development in Africa. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much.
Tanzania is ready to collaborate with the international community in ensuring that the goals of the World Summit on Information Society, Internet Governance Forum, the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, and those agreed in the Global Digital Compact are achieved. Organizing and hosting this meeting is a clear evidence and continuation of our commitment to bring development not only to our citizens, but to the African community and the world at large. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Tanzania government to welcome all of you who have come from different parts of the world and have found it important to participate in this African IGF meeting here in Tanzania. Indeed, we are pleased to welcome you to this city of Dar es Salaam, and we wish you a productive participation and peaceful stay in our country. As you know, Tanzania is a country renowned for its cultural and natural diversity, It is a country of peace and stability with more than 65 million people of their responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania is home to the world-renowned tourist attractions, including Mount Kilimanjaro, the Zanzibar Islands, and over 16 national parks, and many others. I hope you will extend your stay to visit these beautiful destinations. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathered here to participate in the Africa Internet Governance Forum under the theme, Enabling African Digital Future. This forum will cover key topics such as internet policies, digital public infrastructure, the data governance, cybersecurity, resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a significant achievement, especially as we celebrate 20 years since the establishment of the Internet Governance Forum under the United Nations, following the 2005 World Summit on the Information Society. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been informed that IGF 2025 has been attended by diverse participants, including government leaders, parliamentarians, UN agencies, international organizations, global ICT companies, private sector actors, and development partners from 51 African countries and 5 non-African nations, both physical and online. I kindly argue all deeply engaged in discussing Africa's ICT issues and finding solutions for achieving a digital economy. Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks 20 years since the WISIS and IGF began. As we reflect on this journey and consider our future expectations, we must celebrate achievements, examine challenges, and improve implementation strategies aligned with the Global Digital Compact resolutions of the United Nations General Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the United Republic of Tanzania continues to make progress in implementing the WISIS and the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. We aim to enhance ICT use to stimulate the growth of the digital economy and improve citizens' lives across urban and rural areas. Digital transformation lays the foundation for the digital inclusive economy powered by ICT, with all sectors working in synergy through robust digital systems. This transformation is supported by solid foundations in our policy and legal frameworks. These frameworks have significantly improved public service delivery, including financial transactions, e-commerce, e-education, healthy agriculture, e-society, and good governance. Ladies and gentlemen, our government has implemented several legislative and policy instruments to promote safe, inclusive, and innovative use of ICT. This includes the National ICT Policy of 2003, revised in 2016, Universal Communication Service Access Act of 2006, Electronic and Postal Communication Act of 2010, Cyber Crimes Act of 2015, Electronic Transaction Act of 2015, E-Government Act of 2019, and Personal Data Protection Act of 2022. Additionally, the national ICT strategies include the Digital Economy Strategy, the E-Government Strategy, the National Broadband Strategy, and Cyber Security Strategies. We have established dedicated ICT institutions such as the Tanzania Communication Regulatory Authority, TCRA, the E-Government Authority, IGA, the Personal Data Protection Commission, PDPC, the Universal Communication Service Action Fund, UCSAF, and the ICT Commission, ICTC. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanzania has made significant progress in building ICT infrastructure, including a 13,820-kilometer national ICT broadband backbone, connecting all regions and districts, and interlinking with our neighboring countries Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique. We are now preparing to connect with the Democratic Republic of Congo via Lake Tanganyika. Ladies and gentlemen, we have created an enabling investment environment resulting in mobile broadband services reaching 92% for 3G, 91% for 4G, and 23% for 5G of the population. Other milestones include Tanzania. Among leading countries in the region having the large fiber network of over 27,000 kilometers of fiber optics, 6 national data centers, 4 undersea cables, and 6 internet exchange points, 1,366 towers built in 1,243 wards, covering 3,701 villages. Ladies and gentlemen, to ensure citizens benefit from the digital economy, the government and partners have developed various digital systems to improve government services, such as GPG, TIPS, MUSE, and TAUSI, which are revenue systems, NAPA, which is the National Address System, MAMA, which is the Healthy Services System, NEST, which is a procurement system, NIDA, which is the National ID System, PEPMIS, which is the Public Service Human Resources System, and digital wallets used by over 72% of my mobile users for financial transactions. Ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, there have been strong emphasis on ICT systems, data exchange, and governance. We have developed the Jamii Exchange platform to facilitate national and international system interoperability. The government has also strengthened strategic ICT leadership across sectors, increased human resource to drive ICT initiatives, and improved ICT education for the public. This includes the establishment of the National ICT Professional Registration System, the implementation of the Digital Tanzania project, which has trained 500 ICT professionals, and the provision of the training programs for over 600 ICT professionals. The establishment of the digital clubs to teach basic ICT skills to citizens from the kindergarten to secondary level. The establishment of digital clubs to teach basic ICT skills to citizens, and the integration of ICT into the education curricula at all levels, and the implementation of the public awareness program to enhance digital literacy. Ladies and gentlemen, the essence and core principle of the Internet Governance Forum, IGF, lies in the inclusion of various stakeholders in its implementation. The core values ensures that all stakeholders, including government, civil society, and private sector, the technical community, the academia, have an equal opportunity to participate in shaping the future of the Internet. This participatory approach fosters a diversity of perspectives and expertise, which is essential in addressing the diverse challenges that arise in the Internet governance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Internet is now a basic service, like water, electricity, or roads. It connects children to education, farmers to markets, innovators to opportunities, and citizens to digital services. Ensuring inclusive, fair, and open access requires collaboration among stakeholders. This was emphasized during the UNESCO Internet Universality launch at the IGF in Riyadh. Ladies and gentlemen, let us remember the Global Digital Compact, adopted by 193 UN member states during the UN Summit of the Future in the year 2024. It aims to create a safe, inclusive, and people-centered digital environment. I urge forum participants to align IGF and WISE's goals with the GDC implementation to accelerate digital access for all, bridge digital divide, promote inclusive digital economies, and uphold responsible governance of digital technologies and artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, to advance AI governance in Tanzania, I have been informed that UNESCO will present the assessment report on Tanzania AI readiness, which the UNESCO representative has already handed over to me. This report outlines strategic areas for action, ensuring AI usage aligned with major concerns of equality, transparency, human rights, and stakeholders' solidarity. This report has come timely as we finalize our national AI strategy. On behalf of the government, I would like to thank UNESCO and all experts involved to contribute their comments on the Readiness Assessment Report. With this initiative, I encourage other countries to conduct similar assessment as recommended in the Africa AI Declaration of April 2025. Asanteni sana, UNESCO. Ladies and gentlemen, I also remind you to uphold the discussion on the African Union Declaration on Internet Governance and Digital Economy, adopted at the 30th Ordinary Session of the AU Assembly in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on 2018. I reaffirm inclusive participation. I reaffirm inclusive stakeholder engagement based on the Tunis Agenda, which emphasizes participation, transparency, cultural and gender sensitivity, and recognition of diverse stakeholders' role. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, over the years, we have seen this Internet Governance Forum as a very important part of monitoring and ensuring the development of the Internet for all in a transparent and equitable manner. This is reflected in activities that include various stakeholders, including young people. As I've been told, they've been here having a forum yesterday, to gain knowledge through a special internet school that is held at each meeting. Therefore, I propose to continue this important platform for the future of the internet society that we want. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the organizers of the recently concluded African School of the Cyber Governance with participation from member states. The School of Cyber Governance has been a hub of knowledge for our youth in building a knowledgeable and informed society. To young innovators, young policymakers, and digital native youth, your voice is vital in this era of digital transformation. Your creativity is essential, and this platform should be used as a catalyst for bold ideas and meaningful actions, both for your personal growth and for the benefit of our nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge and encourage you to ensure that Africa's voice remains strong and unified as we approach the WISE's Plus 20 review and the development of the Global Digital Compact. It is important to engage in deep discussions about Africa's digital future so that we can stand together and ensure that all African priorities, those that drive social and economic development in our countries, are included and acted upon in the United Nations deliberations. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to thank and congratulate the management of the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology of the United Republic of Tanzania, the African Union, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, and the IGF Secretariat, the MAG, and the Organizing Committee, the School of Internet Governance, the civil society, our youth, and all partners for organizing this forum and keeping this platform active and impactful. Hongereni sana. I also thank the sponsors who generously supported the success of this forum, including the Internet Society, the ICANN, Global Gateways, GIZ, UCSAF, SoftNet, Huawei Tanzania, TTCL, Personal Data Protection Commission, Radi Fiber, DEM Group, Nokia Tanzania, Jamii Africa, and Airtel Tanzania. Asanteni sana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, I wish you all the very best during this forum. May your discussion be fruitful and productive, and may you emerge with a declaration that reflects where we are and where we aspire to go. Your ideas are crucial in building the Africa we want. With that, I now officially declare the 14th Africa Internet Governance Forum officially open. God bless Tanzania. God bless Africa. Asanteni sana kwa kunisikiliza.
Distinguished delegates, may I request you to kindly take your seats. May I request the members of the high table to kindly join Honorable Guest of Honor for a group photo session. May I request members of the high table to kindly join us for the group photo session. We are going to go on to two activities, Guest of Honor. Number one will be a photo session, only 4 groups. Number two, Guest of Honor will be cutting of the cake as we commemorate the 20th anniversary of AIGF. May I request honorable members of parliament to come for the first photo session. Honorable members of parliament, please join us for the first photo session. Maadhimisho Thank you very much. Can I call to the stage the partners, the sponsors and partners, ISOC, ICANN, GIZ, European Union, German Cooperation, UCSAF, Huawei, all the sponsors and partners. Members of the high table, please remain on the stage. Honorable ministers, please remain on the stage. Honorable ministers, kindly remain on the stage. Can we put our hands together for the partners who've supported us? Let's clap our hands for them in appreciation for their support. Thank you very much. I'm now going to call ambassadors as well as UN representatives present. Excellencies, ambassadors, and UN representatives present. Thank you so much. The final photo, last but one, will have the committee, including the MAG Secretariat. Committee, including the MAG Secretariat. Committee and the MAG Secretariat. Multi-Stakeholders Advisory Group. Thank you so much. May I now request UNESCO to remain on the stage. UNESCO. The rest of us, please, we go back. May I request the committee to unveil the cake. Asante brass band. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa Internet Governance Forum is commemorating its 20th birthday or 20th anniversary. May I request all of us to please rise for this gesture. Can we all please stand up for this gesture? And let's clap our hands as the minister is cutting the cake. Brass band. Another big round of applause, a big round of applause. Congratulations. Honorable Minister and the ministers will have a share of the cake. Can we all please be seated? Can we all kindly take our seats back? The ministers will have their shares of cake to represent all the countries in Africa present. And then on behalf of the Secretariat, we have our very own Soreen. The rest of us will have the cake when we break for lunch. Asante, asante sana. Distinguished delegates, the ministers now will go to the holding room so that we can arrange this. Can I have the setup? Please stay back. All of us, do not leave the room. digital public infrastructure enabler, Africa digital economy. So please remain seated. If you need to stand up to stretch up, you can do that, but please do not leave the room. Thank you so much. DJ Brass Band, we are on for the 5 minutes as we set up the stage. Ministerial panel will start in 5 minutes. Please do not leave the room. If you need to stand up and stretch up, you're more than welcome to do so. Thank you. Delegates, please take your seats now. Delegates, please take your seats now as I bring the ministers back for a ministerial panel. Dr. Moses Mkundwe. Please put it on. Put it on. Distinguished delegates, please take your seats as I bring back the ministers to the room for a ministerial panel. All delegates, please take your seats. May I request all the delegates to take your seats as I bring back the ministers for a ministerial panel. Please all take your seats. Back into the room. Can we all please take our seats? I will announce after lunch. I will announce about the lunch in about 30 minutes after the ministerial panel. Can the rest of us please take our seats? Camera, I will take you guys out of this room. Please let my delegates take their seats. Can I request everyone standing to please take your seat? Everyone standing, kindly take your seats. Those who are standing between the ministerial panel and the lunch. So please take your seats. Nikuombe sasa walete mawaziri. Katibu Mkuu. DJ, can I have the Secretariat to have the cake removed? Secretariat, can we have the cake removed? Isabella? Those still standing, can you please take your seats? I'm seeing a bunch of us still standing. Naomba tuketi. As the ministers are coming in, let us give them a round of applause. Moses Mkundwe, guide us onto the next stage.
Good afternoon. Now we are going to start our high-level panel on digital public infrastructure. Why this panel is important for Africa? As you know, digital public infrastructure, encompass digital ID system, financial service, and data exchange platform. These are the key foundation of digital public infrastructure. All daily application we are doing on digital, using mobile phone, using mobile wallet, calling, is based on the digital public infrastructure. For Africa, we can build from our digital public infrastructure. Why? As of today, we have 85% of African countries they have their national ID system, not digital ID, national ID system. And 70% use biometric. From there, we can build a solid, a robust digital ID. We are going to navigate in several use cases. In Gambia, we have seen during the opening ceremony the progress. In Tanzania, we have a very good example. We can discuss on this today. And also, Rwanda can be a good example. We need further to harmonize all infrastructure policy. It is very important to, at the policy level, we can have this harmonization because we are going to implement this African free trade area. Also, access to essential service, like financial service. We need to bridge this gap between fintech and the bank service to make sure we have our fintech can play an important role in this digital public infrastructure service. Interoperability is a key now. In several countries, you can't send money, you can't exchange. Sometimes the exchange is within the country. From Tanzania to another country, sometimes it's difficult for another country to send another country because the issue of legislation and the issue of technology and interoperability system. And we are going to, in the PAP,
na tunakwenda katika papu mfumo wa malipo wa nchi za Afrika, na sasa tuna nchi 14 tu. Kwa hiyo tunahitaji uratibu huu na mashirikiano kuweka majukwaa ambayo yatatusaidia. Kwa nini leo
key player
on digital public wadau muhimu katika masuala ya miundombinu ya kidijitali katika bara zima la Afrika? Tutawasikiliza kuweza kujua ni mafanikio yapi yamefikiwa na kujifunza kutoka katika uzoefu wao ni jinsi gani tunaweza kuja na mfumo wa umma
account all issues relative to infrastructure, policy, interoperability system. And I have the pleasure to give the floor now to our moderator.
Ninayo furaha sasa kumpa nafasi mwongozaji wetu ndugu Moses kwa ajili ya kusimamia jopo hili la ngazi ya juu. Moses, nafasi ni yako. Asante sana Dr. Kwa ajili ya wasilisho kwa utangulizi wa jopo hili. Waheshimiwa mawaziri ambao mnawakilisha nchi 5 za Afrika, ningependa kwa kuanza kuwatambulisha waheshimiwa mawaziri na nchi wanazowakilisha. Tunaye waziri kutoka katika Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, na tuna mheshimiwa waziri kutoka katika nchi ya Chad ambayo atawakilisha kutoka kwa njia ya mtandao, lakini tunaye mheshimiwa waziri kutoka katika Jamhuri ya Afrika Kusini, lakini tunaye mheshimiwa waziri kutoka Jamhuri ya Gambia na mheshimiwa waziri kutoka katika Jamhuri ya Malawi. Kwa hiyo sisi ni 5, tutakwenda kujadili mada hii ya muhimu ya miundombinu ya kidijitali kama kiwezeshi cha uchumi wa kidijitali wa Afrika. Kwa hiyo kwa kufuata itifaki ya AU, ambapo nitaanza kwa kuuliza maswali kulingana na itifaki, na hivyo basi nitaanza na mheshimiwa Jerry Silaa wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Samia Stack inaonyesha mkabara wa pekee katika mfumo wa kitaifa. Jinsi gani digital wallet itaendeleza shughuli za kidijitali katika bara, na ni jinsi gani Tanzania inaweza kutoa taarifa hii za jukwaa hilo.
Good afternoon once again.
Habari ya mchana kwa mara nyingine tena. Nina hakika kwamba tumeona picha ya video jinsi gani ambavyo mradi wa
on a digital wallet, what is a digital wallet?
Majukwaa yanayofanya kazi.
Just like a normal wallet.
Wallet ya kidijitali ni nini? Ni kama wallet tu ya kawaida ambapo unaweka fedha zako. Ni mfumo unganishi ambapo inaruhusu mtu kuweza kutunza na kutuma na kusimamia fedha zake katika majukwaa ya kidijitali. Na hii inafanya kazi kwa kutumia jamii malipo au mfumo wa malipo wa jamii ambao umetengenezwa na serikali ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Na kwa sasa kama ambavyo mmeona na mlivyosikia katika hotuba yangu, tumekuwa na maendeleo mapana sana katika majukwaa ya kidijitali. Tuna malipo ya kupitia simu za mkononi na simu za mkononi kwenda benki, ambapo zikiwekwa pamoja katika wallet ya kidijitali itaruhusu mtu kuweza kutuma na kupokea na kusimamia fedha kwa haraka sana katika vifaa. Na hii itasaidia wajasiriamali kurahisisha biashara zao, kurahisisha upatikanaji wa mtaji. Kama mnavyojua, ukienda katika benki ili kupata mkopo lazima ujaze mafomu, wakati mwingine ripoti zinakuwa ni za kupika. Lakini katika kuwa na wallet ya kidijitali ya pamoja itasaidia katika kupata huduma za kibenki kwa mbali, na itaruhusu mifumo ya kibenki ambayo inatengenezwa na akili mdondo na kuona jinsi ambavyo wanaweza wakapata fedha, rekodi za kifedha, na kuhakikisha kwamba kuna bidhaa ambayo mjasiriamali anaweza kuipata ili kusudi iweze kumsaidia katika kupata mtaji na kufanya biashara yake. Na kwenye jamii stack ambayo tunaita Samia Jamii Stack inatoa stack ambayo vitambulisho vya kidijitali vinatumika, na ndio maana tuna jamii malipo, na hii stack inaruhusu uwepo wa mabadilishano ya taarifa, na tunatengeneza shughuli za kuaminika za mfumo. Na muundo huu ni wa wazi na unapimika na unaweza kutumika kote Afrika. Na nimelisema hili katika mkutano Kigali kwamba nchi za Afrika hazipaswi kwenda kwa njia zile za mazoea, na kwamba kila nchi inataka kufanya kwa namna yake. Tunaweza kufanya kazi kwa pamoja katika majukwaa ya pamoja, kuja na maazimio. Ukikuta nchi moja kama Afrika ambayo imesonga mbele katika mfumo ambao unaweza kutumika na kufanya kazi, na tunaweza tukabadilishana maarifa na kufanya kazi kwa pamoja, kwa kuhakikisha kwamba Samia Stack haifanyi tu kazi Tanzania, inaweza kufanya kazi nje ya mipaka, inaweza kufanya kazi katika majukwaa yaliyounganishwa, na kuhakikisha kwamba tunapotekeleza mkakati wa uchumi wa kidijitali tunaweza kufanya pia mfumo wa kidijitali wa kiuchumi wa Afrika unakuwa umeungana kwa pamoja. Asante sana mheshimiwa. Umesema kwa ufupi kile ambacho umekielezea ni kuhusu wallet ya kidijitali ya pamoja na jinsi gani inaweza kufanya kazi, jinsi ya kutunza fedha. Kwa kweli swala la ushirikishwaji wa kidijitali sana, na kwamba tuko tayari kushirikishana maarifa na nchi zingine kuhusiana na Samia Stack ambayo inahusiana na masuala ya wallet ya kidijitali. Kwa hiyo haya ni mchango mzuri sana. Nitakwenda kwa swali la pili ambalo litakwenda kwa mshiriki aliyeko mtandaoni, Mheshimiwa Bakam Michel, ambaye atazungumza kuhusiana na changamoto za kiusalama. Ni jinsi gani tunaweza kutengeneza mifumo ya kiusalama ambayo itasaidia raia na ikiwa inapunguza uhalifu wa kimtandao na kuhakikisha umiliki wa taarifa.
Republic of Chad. Let's go.
Ni mimi sasa, mnanisikia vizuri? Je, mnanisikia? Je, mnanisikia?
Hello.
Mnanisikia? Je, mnanisikia? Sawa. Asante sana. Ndugu kutoka waziri wa Morocco kutoka Afrika. Leo tunasherehekea serikali kuhusu usimamizi wa internet Afrika, na washukuru nchi zote na waandaaji wa mkutano huu, na zaidi ya hapo ndugu zangu ambao walio Tanzania kwa makaribisho mazuri sana. Nilikuwa niweze kuwa moja wa mkutano huo, pia kuweza kubadilishana mawazo, na hata hivyo ujumbe wa Chad umekuja. Kimsingi Afrika inabadilika, mabadiliko ya kidijitali ambayo yanaendelea kwa ajili ya kubadilisha uchumi wao. Mifumo ya elimu ya jamii na mahusiano ya kijamii. Tunajua kwamba miundombinu na ubadilishaji wa data ni muhimu sana katika dijitali kwa upande wa usalama, na ni kitovu cha usalama. Hata hivyo, kuhusiana hilo mengi yamefanyika. Katika upande wa Chad, nini kinachoendelea? Chad ni nchi kubwa, ina watu karibu milioni 19, na shughuli ambazo zilizo msingi ni katika 45%, na huduma ambazo zina 49%. Kwa sasa hivi upande wa Chad, kwenye upande wa mwanga, nguvu za jua. Leo kama tunavyozungumzia kuhusu muunganiko, mtaelewa kwamba Chad ipo katika Afrika ya Kati, na ipo Chad na ni kwamba imezungukwa. Leo hii unapozungumza kuhusu kuunganika, ni vizuri kuelewa kwamba kuna tatizo kwenye upande wa kuweza kufikia umbali wote mpaka kufika Chad. Kwa hiyo hii ukianza kuangalia ramani ya Afrika utaona Chad iko katikati katika sehemu hiyo, kuweza kuona namna ya kuungana. Kitu ambacho Chad imefikia, tumeweza kufikia kilomita milioni 3. Kuna tumeweza kuwa na washirika, Benki ya Dunia imeweza kushirikiana nasi na BAD, ambao kuweza kwenye mradi wa mabadiliko ya kidijitali, na washirika wa ndani na watengenezaji na ambao wameweza kushiriki nasi. Hivyo tatizo ambalo lipo sasa hivi upande wa kimataifa, siku hizi tunaweza kufanya kazi pamoja na Kameruni, kwa sababu Kameruni tumezungumza sana kuhusu mtandao. Tumeweza kwamba na washirika kutoka Kameruni ambao tunakuona kwamba kwa muda huu kuna kukatika kwa mara. unakuta kwamba Chad haijaingia kwenye mfumo wa kimataifa. Sasa hivi tuna swala la deni. Unaweza kuona kwamba siku hizi siku hizi tumesogea kiasi na sasa tunapata msaada kutoka Umoja wa Ulaya. Chad imeanza na miradi ambayo inaungana kidogo na Sudani. Unaona kwamba tunaweza kuungana, ni kwamba hatujafikia sana kiwango kikubwa cha kimataifa, na hata hivyo ni changamoto ya kuweza kutafakari na namna gani hizi nchi mbali taweza. Kumekuweko na vita na hali hiyo imekata, inabidi tuanze kutafakari juu ya usimamizi wa mtandao. Naona kwamba Chad na Kameruni ambao ni majirani na kwa ushirikiano mzuri na tuweze kuwa na bomba linalopita pamoja, na tunafanya kazi kwa pamoja kwa kupitia Kameruni, lakini kama watu wetu pia tuna mradi mwingine, mradi wa Chad na Nigeria na Chad na Egypt kuhusu kuungana na iweze kufika kupitia baharini. Hiyo yote maeneo hayo kwa vile napitia Chad inakuwa ndio kitovu kwa upande huu. Ndio maana inapo katikati ya Afrika, na kwa vile kwamba tunahusiana nchi zote na kuweza kuungana kimataifa, Chad inaweza ikawa ndio kitovu ya kuweza kufikia hapa. Ndio maana tunaona kwamba katika mradi hii, katika muunganiko katika nchi zote, kinachoendelea kuhusu CDF, kwanza kuhusu nchi jirani kuweza kuongeza ushirikiano mkubwa, iweze kuendeleza huduma na katika kiwango cha kimataifa. Kwa sababu kwa mfano tulipoungana Kameruni, kwa hiyo Kameruni inaweza katuwezesha kutuinua tunachoomba ili tusiwe na tatizo, kwa sababu tunapokuwa hakuna muungano na huduma hii. Pili, kwanza kuna swala pia la miundombinu, na hii inatuzuia kupata huduma za kiinternet, na ni kitu ambacho cha muhimu sana ili kuweza kupata kukifikia malengo yetu ya maendeleo. Kwa hiyo kama hatutaweza kufikia hapo, tutaona kwamba ni changamoto kubwa na umoja wa. Kwa hiyo tunatumia futa ili tuweze kupata umeme. Kwa hiyo tunapozungumzia internet, tunafikiria teknolojia ya kisasa kwa kutumia nguvu za jua ili tuweze kuwa na nguvu, hasa upande wa Kenya. Kwa hiyo nchi nyingine ambazo zinasaidia kwenye upande wa Afrika ya Kati ni kusaidia umeme, na kwa hali ambayo ili tunapopata muunganiko wa mtandao tunaweza kutosheleza watu wetu. Kuna changamoto za kiufundi na za nishati. Unaweza ukaona kwamba ili kuweza kufikia miundombinu yetu katika maeneo fulani ya Chad ni eneo kubwa sana, na mwezi kuzingatia makubaliano mbalimbali kuhusu tunahitaji kuhusu njia za kupitia kuungana. Ukiangalia tuko kupitia Nigeria na Niger, tumeshaongea nao, tumeshakubaliana mpango wa taifa wa maendeleo ambaye itawasilishwa Dubai na waziri wa uchumi, na hii ni hali ambayo ya kuendelesha miradi hii ili kuweza kuboresha muunganiko huu. Kwanza kabisa inabidi kuungana kikanda na nchi jirani na nchi ambazo tunapitia
hasa kupata mkongo wa taifa, na tuweze kuungana moja kwa moja, na lazima tuwe na njia mbalimbali na kuhakikisha kwamba kila mmoja anachangia. Jitihada ambazo zimefanyika kati ya Chad na Kameruni katika wiki mbili ambayo ilikuwa Kameruni na Chadioni wameanza kukia Juba kwenda kaskazini mpaka kwenda juu, na katika wakati napo katika kutakuwa na kilomita. Kwa mfano, Chad inatumia mkanda wa chini ya bahari na kupitia Sudani. Kumekuwa na vita Sudani, kwa hiyo imekuwa ni vigumu ili kuweza kufikia nchi nyingine, inabidi tusitumie Sudani. Kwa hiyo tunategemea nchi moja tu ya kuweza kupata huduma ya mtandao. Kwa hiyo tunajaribu kuwa na njia wazi ambayo sisi tunaweza kuwafikia nchi zingine, na hasa hii kwa mikongo ambayo inapitia baharini. Kwa hiyo tunabidi tuwe na ubora wa upatikanaji na unyumbufu katika hali hii, na kuwa na njia mbalimbali ya sisi kuweza kufikia huduma ya mtandao. Na kinachoendelea, kwa hiyo kuna sasa hivi tumefikiria
dans 4 ou 5 grandes villes. En Diamène déjà nous avons mis le point XP pour faire en sorte que même s'il y a coupure, on puisse communiquer en interne. Maintenant on pense élargir.
Sasa tunafikiria kwamba
élargir la mise en place de XP à Sar, à Mundu, à Mao. Alors la création de points
XP
internet nationaux
wa mtandao wa kimataifa na muungana na kikanda zitaruhusu kuwa na mikonga mtandao wa ndani na ambao utaungana na kimataifa. Kwa hiyo itasaidia katika maendeleo kwenye huduma za ndani. Sasa hivi kwa ujumla, kwa upande wa kisiasa tunabidi tuangalie upande wa kifedha. Kuna hali ya upande wa kitaifa
international et promouvoir la concurrence sur le marché de la fibre optique.
Pili, inabidi tuendeleza mahusiano mazuri na kuweza kupata fedha kwa ajili ya ujenzi wa miundombinu. La tatu ni upande wa uratibu, upande wa miundombinu na kutia moyo uwekezaji. Kwa hali ambayo kuna suluhisho upande wa teknolojia, ni matumizi ya njia mbadala za teknolojia mbadala na kuweza kuangalia mtandao au kutumia satellite na kuweza. Ni vigumu kutumia njia zingine za chini, inabidi kufikia za satellite. Na kwa kutumia njia mbalimbali tunaweza kufikia nchi maeneo ya vijijini. Kwa hiyo tunasisitiza kuweza kufanya kazi kwa pamoja katika ujenzi wa mitandao. Inabidi kuendeleza mazungumzo kati ya nchi na nchi na waendeshaji upande wa mafundi na uratibu. Mabibi na mabwana mawaziri, kwa sasa, kwa kweli kwa sasa hivi ninawapongeza sana, na nadhani kwamba kutakuwa na fursa nyingine ambayo mimi binafsi nitakuwa na nafasi ya kuweza kushiriki. Asante sana na natoa salamu zangu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that articulate answers.
Asante sana.
Our question, just to summarize of
labda kwa kifupi tu kuhusu ambacho umeeleza. Umesema kwamba kuhusu umuhimu wa mashirikiano kwa kikanda, nchi ambazo zinazunguka nchi yako. Umesema pia kwamba kuna ushirikiano kati ya Sudani na Kameruni. Umesema kuhusu unyumbufu kwa naibu waziri kutoka Afrika Kusini. Swali ni kwamba kama moja ya nchi kiongozi wa nchi uchumi wa kidijitali Afrika Kusini inafanyaje namna ya kusukuma biashara ya nje ya mipaka, na ni hatua gani ambazo zinahitajika kuimarisha mashirikiano ya kikanda na ya kisheria? Asante sana Steph mwezeshaji. Sisi tunaweka umuhimu sana katika swala hili kwamba kuhusu nje ya mipaka, kuhusu miundombinu kwa ajili ya jamii, na kimsingi kwa kufuatia na swali lako ni tuna mawazo gani ambazo ingeweza kuwashirikisha na ushirikiano kwa viwango vya ubora na kisheria. Ningesema ni kwamba chochote ambacho tunafanya sasa hivi katika nchi yetu nina katika mwelekeo huo, lakini kwa katika mwelekeo huo na kufika huko kuna njia kazi tunaifanya. Yoyote ambayo tunapochukua mpango wa kidijitali ambao unalenga kwenye miundombinu ya wananchi, hizi taratibu zimeshapokelewa na zimo ndani ya programu zetu, na tumepokea muundo kama mtaji yetu, kama mipango yetu katika ofisi ya rais. Hivyo tuna furaha sana. Tunafikiri kwamba mpango wa nchi nzima iko sawa. Tunaamini kwamba mara tu hapa nyumbani barabara mpango wa
integrators achieve the domestic interoperability, it puts us on course to actually answer the tough question you put before us. We do want to underscore the importance of digital public infrastructure, especially when inclusively and transparently designed, that it has the capability to unlock efficiency, accountability, and innovations at a scale. So unemployment, poverty, and so on. We are saying with this, what this then means for us is that the continental perspective is that we can now share data, cross-border data flow, having agreed on this together. And when we make the policies, our countries already adopted a data policy in cloud, which actually provides for cross-border data flow. We also want to share with this August as G20 presidency ensues in our country. We have placed an emphasis on this, and we are developing a toolkit to identify as such then a common sense that or a no-brainer that a standard data protection and cybersecurity becomes a critical point. We want to take this opportunity to say to our data experts, developers, they must help us to build institutional coordination and interoperable digital systems, clearly defined mandates, and effective cross-border sectoral alignment. We do rely on young people and tech entrepreneurs who want to make this point to build this interoperable network system so that we can grow local expertise, address local challenges, and come out with local solutions, be it in digital ID, digital payment, network exchange or applications, because we believe that we can do this with the African capabilities that are at our disposal. Mr. Facilitator, the digital transformation
mabadiliko ya kidijitali kwa serikali
ni
kwamba imeenda zaidi kwanza kuangalia changamoto, na wakati huo tukiwa tunataka kuendelea. Nimesema tayari kwamba tumeshapokea mpango mzima ambao una
digital identity which is going to assist as we integrate to secure distantly access to services.
Tunaweza kuhakikisha tunapata huduma za serikali zinapatikana katika kutayarisha sera na utekelezaji. Tatu ni mfumo ambao unaaminika vizuri sana. Hii itahakikisha kwamba taarifa zote zinatunzwa katika hali salama, mazingira salama na ambayo ni mazuri, naweza kuaminika na wateja wote, serikali na sekta binafsi. Ya tatu ni kuhusu utekelezaji, utoaji huduma. Sasa hivi kadri tunavyoendelea tunaanza kuangalia maeneo upande wa huduma,
platforms such as South African Revenue Services, for instance, where people are able to do online tax return, and also the National Transport Information System, which keeps us up to date on the state of traffic in real time. The South African Social Security Agents online applications, which makes sure that people are able to actually apply online. Again, one of the successes which are bearing in our country has been the payment structure. South Africa's sophisticated national payment system now includes instead peer-to-peer payments through what we refer to as PayShap, and a range of government-to-person, which we commonly refer to as P2P payment options, alongside the upgrading of the government's financial accounting system in the integrated financial system. On the digital identity, one of the successes can find expression in what our central bank has done on the digital financial. Again, in pursuit of the TPI, I want to share with the House that just in the poor communities, we've been able to connect not less than 1.5 million households, which have got access to a gig of not more than 6 or 7 rand, and with an amount of about 409 rand a month, unlimited system through what we refer to as Border Management Authority. This agency has enhanced its technological capacity for real-time information sharing within South Africa, the extent of its interoperability with regional and continental partners, which remains that part of regional integration. I want to make this point is an area which we want to make the point that is still for further development. Currently, the agency has been able to ensure that organizations such as Interpol are our partners and stakeholders in assisting to insist. These partnerships support the agency's mandate to integrate with the international database, enabling timely alerts, shared watch lists, and real-time communication for coordinated enforcement across SADC region and beyond. With one organization already on board, more will be done to roll out data sharing across various organizations and member states. Mr. Program Facilitator, to answer the second dimension, how do you strengthen regional collaboration on standards and legal framework? The following steps need to be taken by parties, state parties in our view, the sharing of best practices and establishment of cross-border regulatory coordination mechanisms, alignment with international standards for privacy, security and digital commerce, encouraging the adoption of common standards and legal framework for data protection and cybersecurity, promoting institutional coordination on interoperable digital systems with clearly defined mandates and effective cross-sectoral alignment, leveraging multilateral platforms such as AU and SADC to run joint pilot projects, and growing localized solutions that harness. It's properly themed when it is this exercise when it is about Africa's digital future through DPI. DPI, Honorable Facilitator, is a game changer in our view through digital sustainable and equitable.
Much, Honorable Deputy Minister, for your very in-depth insights about three things that were basically touched in that question. That is cross-border interoperability, Africa Free Continental Trade Area, and the standard and legal framework. I just want to highlight a few of the things that you explained. You explained the importance of the common standards and the need of adopting that in the governance model of the Gambia pursuing to ensure DPI is citizen-centered, inclusive and accountable. And how can African nations harmonize oversight structures for DPI implementation?
Mifumo kwa ajili ya utekelezaji wa DPI.
Thank you so much. Honorable Minister, let me first start by extending the special greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, to Her Excellency, Dr. Samir Suluhu, of the Republic of Federal Republic of Tanzania, through you, Honorable Minister. And we are very grateful to be invited to be part of this very special event. As I make attempts to answer these question relating to what we do in the Gambia, let me first make a very simple observation. And I think if I do not do it, I wouldn't be doing the right thing to myself. I remember the last time I visited Tanzania, that must be in 2017, 2018. And when I arrived just a few days ago, let me be very clear, I didn't recognize the airport. But to much of my surprise, is what I found has been registered. But as we are people who sometimes value statistics, on a brief look at the estimates, exactly what Tanzania is currently going to be getting from the ICT sector for the year 2025, when I look at those projections which are almost at the point of being realized, a figure of $1.9 billion US is no small money. And this is based on a budget estimate of almost $19 billion US. What is this telling us? It's telling us that at least you have now gone across the line of the 10%, which the ICT sector is actually contributing to that targeted budget of the government of Tanzania. To that I say a big congratulations, you are on the right track. Thank you so much.
Hongereni sana, mko katika mwelekeo mzuri.
Yes, indeed, the Gambia is a very small country.
Gambia ni nchi ndogo sana.
You can't even compare it in terms of population to Dar es Salaam, this beautiful city. But, of course, in terms of internet, in terms of ICT growth, rather the infrastructure down there that we have, on the basis of which we are building and recognizing the importance of digital public infrastructure, we are currently focusing on digital identity, blockchain technology, and the need to improve broadband connectivity. Our objective is to actually modernize the operations of the government through an e-government framework or system that we are putting in place. And it's just more of a creation of a digital ecosystem, like you said, which is inclusive and citizen-centric. As I speak today, my team back home is just concluding on a second phase contract for the implementation of our digital ID system. We are already done with the foundational part, which is the ECRB project that we have in the country. Like I said, for that digital transformation and economic growth, the government is focusing on the development of this digital ID system, which, not to my surprise, but with what I saw in what Tanzania has so far achieved, is focusing on the identity itself, the number, the system we intend to put in place, and of course, the data itself, the data center, which would serve as the source of almost everything. But as we are pushing through this, we realize that internally there are a lot of things that we need to do. The first issue is almost harmonization of almost everything across the government layer. You will realize that different government agencies and departments are using different standards. You need to really make sure that they are all on board using the same standard. You realize that as you want to do that, you come across the question of capacity challenges, and then that must be addressed because you need to succeed in getting where you want to go. But how serious are we as a country in making sure that we realize these projections we have really identified for ourselves? We are serious. Government was collecting, in terms of collectibles from the sector concerned, nothing more than 10 billion of our money. $10 billion of our money. Exchange rate of about maybe 65, 72 US dollars. So when we started implementing that, 2024, 2 years after, we realized that actually having this system in place, the collectibles increased from 10 billion of our money to 20.8 billion of our money within 2 years. That speaks in volumes. Then we realized that really, if our sector today, the ICT sector, based on this infrastructure we've been building, can actually account for 20% of government's annual collectibles. And we feel the potential is still there because what we are collecting is still less than half of what we should be collecting. So the seriousness is definitely down there. But of course we have challenges now. Challenges to that inclusiveness. We have the external and we have the internal. But the external now goes to, which I think is important for all of us as African countries to take note of, the serious disrupting technologies that are likely going to be having impact on some of the infrastructure that we are rolling out in our respective countries, just like in our own case. I was so impressed with Tanzania when I saw around all the your borders, you have these fiber points. You are rolling out fiber to almost every part of your border, from the Malawi side, Zambia side, all the way to DRC, Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, and the like. But that is a serious investment, just like we have done. A small country where we have rolled out fiber almost everywhere. We are now at the last mile stages, and this is costing us almost millions and millions of dollars. And the investors need to recoup, obviously, the cost of this particular investment. But one challenge is there. You lay down that particular fiber cable, you are now ready to really start delivering the service as it falls within the DP, the digital public infrastructure, serving both the public and the private sector side on clear business models. But the challenge comes, you have, for example, a satellite service provider who would want to be given an access, a license to operate within your ecosystem, where their investment that they are likely going to be doing is far less than what the people on the ground have already invested. That is a trend that we should really watch out and look at. It is important because we should be encouraging people to come and invest, but equally important because what is already invested needs to be somehow protected, or at least we need to give those investors that have already been on the ground an opportunity to see for themselves that it was important that they have invested in our respective countries. So yes, I think it's important externally. As African countries, we need to be ready to have a clear policy direction towards disruptive technologies. We cannot stop it, but we need to be ready for them as we encourage, not protect, but as we encourage investment in our respective countries. The second issue we realize is the issue of standards. I'm so happy with the solution that you have in Tanzania here. When I was listening to the whole system, how it was rolled out in Tanzania, the Jamaa, I don't know how you call it, the STAT, and I realized that it is developed to be rolled out in the whole of Africa. But there are two issues down there that really we should all be preparing for. And the first issue is the issue of standards, just like my colleague mentioned. Those standards are key. If the standards are not such that it could be applied and be usable or used any part in Africa, that would be a drag on the possible progress or your projections that you have for the system. That is first standard. Second one is the language, the content. I think it's very key because as we roll out, we want that content to be universal. We want it to be such that anywhere in Africa you could use it. We are looking at such standards in the country, in the Gambia, but of course there is a remedy for it. We are aware of the strategic document issued by the African Union as far as digital identity is concerned. So that strategic document could serve as a guide. But of course, many African countries are applying it differently. You look for outsiders to come and develop for you, or you look within where you can develop it by yourself. And I'm so happy that Tanzania was able to do it by itself. And then through that, you could control exactly the narrative and its usage. And of course, you limit the cost of maintaining that particular system that you have. That is a direction that we are equally looking at as to how to go about it. So we make sure that people who would be called upon to develop it in our country are either local or African based. It's not outside Africa. It's not because we don't want companies from Africa, but we just want to make sure that at a certain point we have some degree of control, and we also have control over the cost of its maintenance and operations in our respective countries, especially in the Gambia. Lastly, let me say, and I want to say this very clearly once again,
Nataka kulisema hili kwa uwazi zaidi kwa mara nyingine tena.
The issue of harmonization
Swala la kusomanisha
is key if we really want to succeed. Because I want to be a citizen of Africa who, when I travel to Tanzania, I use one single card. I don't stand on the queue. If I travel to Kenya, I want to use the same single card. If I travel to Morocco or Senegal, I want to use the same single card. And if I travel to the Republic of South Africa or Mozambique or Chad, I want to use the same single card. But then now let us look at ourselves seriously. In terms of legislation, in terms of policies, in terms of regulations, even the regulatory frameworks, how harmonized, how unified are we? What are our approaches looking at? Because if you look at what Tanzania has so far achieved, and you go online, by the way, the legislations seem perfect. They are numerous, but chances are that's not what we are applying in our respective countries, in the Gambia, or in the case of Mali, or in the case of Nigeria, or in the case of South Africa, or even in Cameroon and the like. Basic foundational harmonization that needs to be encouraged within the African region. If we cannot harmonize those laws, if we cannot harmonize those policies, if we cannot harmonize our regulatory frameworks and standards, we will come to the value of its own legal system, the policy base, the regulations and the like. I think the time for that harmonization is now than before, than the others, when we really want to make sure that we digitize, and then we meet at the frontiers, not physically but virtually, by crossing those frontiers without concern. And I summarize with these few areas. One, issues of standards. We are looking at this African strategic document to make sure that we are in line with those particular standards. Of course, we are also looking at developments in the 4 or 5 regions of Africa in adopting those standards. Two, it's very important that we are aware of the disruptive technologies that are there and coming into Africa. We think it is very important that we have a common position and common standing towards addressing those challenges as African countries. Three, it is very important. When I saw that 1.9 billion revenue projection for just the ICT sector for Tanzania, I felt like, look, they could just take a $900 million of that, build an entire submarine cable system from Tanzania to the other end of Africa, and becomes Tanzania. So the issue is who owns that particular infrastructure within the country and outside. And the infrastructure we are using to carry out these services, or we call the digital public infrastructure, how do we own it? Who owns it? Who maintains it? And who controls it? We are a bit sensitive to those things, and we think it is important we give emphasis to them as we move on with this digitization, developing the digital public infrastructure. It is not an ending or a never-ending exercise. It has to happen in continuing because technology changes. But fundamentally, it's important we recognize that as we go through those technological changes, we adjust accordingly, and adjustment has to be an African approach. It cannot be one country or the other. We are too many, and we need to be one. Thank you so much for the question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for your insightful answer. I'll just summarize about the key points that we're talking about. One is harmonization of the common DPI in Africa, which is a very good point. The issue of language, so that we'll be able to create DPI which is citizen-centered and inclusive. You have shown the focus of your country that has to do with adherence to the disruptive technologies, revenue collection. You have re-emphasized about the adherence to standards. You have shown that building digital ecosystem is bringing benefit to the country. And also you have shown that the digital ID of your country, especially the one that you're using blockchain technology. So thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Malawi. How is Malawi fostering local ownership of DPI across ministries, communities, and sectors? and what lesson can be shared on building whole of government and whole of society approach to DPI rollout in resource-constrained settings?
Thank you very much. Greetings to all of you. And also let me join those that have expressed appreciation to the Republic of Tanzania for the wonderful welcome that we've been accorded since we came here. We will give a response to the question that has been posed, and with your indulgence, I will take a minute to echo what one or two colleagues have said, which I believe should have formed part of my notes as well. Malawi is positioning digital public infrastructure as a major technical solution. Our DPI strategy is rooted in sovereignty, interoperability, and local stewardship. The Malawi government is ensuring DPI investments align with the national development priorities. And DPI governance is cross-sectoral.
Usimamizi wa DPI uko katika sekta zote, na tunatengeneza miundombinu ya kitaasisi kuhakikisha kwamba idara tunaungamanisha sauti za jamii na kuwa na mifumo inayo
digital IDs, where we have now
vitambulisho vya kidijitali ambapo tayari tumeshasajili zaidi ya milioni 12, lakini pia tumeshasajili zaidi ya milioni 3.
Use them but also inform how they evolve. A focus on open governance and data protection is ensuring that DPI serves Malawians first. Policy frameworks are also being updated to ensure long-term sustainability with national funding mechanisms. Now, lessons that we keep learning on alignment of DPI with national development visions. Malawi's DPI implementation is embedded in our long-term vision, Malawi 2063, and its 10-year implementation plan. As a education, governance, and economic transformation. But also there, the lesson being that in resource-limited contexts like the one that I've mentioned, mainstreaming DPI into national development priorities ensures relevance and sustainability. And on building government-wide coordination mechanisms, Malawi established an interministerial steering committee under programs like the Digital Malawi kamati ya kiwizara ambayo itakuwa ina ratibu vipengele vya DPI, na hii itasaidia promoting a shared sense of ownership and responsibility. There, the lesson is that even in low resource settings, that institutionalizing coordination structures can multiply impact without multiplying the cost. And leveraging and strengthening local capacity, we are investing in upskilling civil service, local developers and public university partnerships to build and maintain DPI systems. Instead of importing one-size-fits-all tech, we focus on building internal technical capacity and using open standards. We believe that human capital is the most sustainable infrastructure, even more so than hardware in resource-constrained settings. And on prioritization of partnerships, both local and global, Malawi has benefited from multi-stakeholder partnerships with the private sector, civil society, and development partners like the World Bank, UNDP, through projects like the Digital Malawi and Inclusive Digital Transformation for Malawi, respectively. We still emphasize country ownership while leveraging global technology and financial support. And we believe that DPI succeeds when local priorities guide external support, not the other way around. That said, allow me, Mr. Moderator, to echo sentiments that have come out.
Niweze kurejea hisia ambazo zimejitokeza kutoka kwa Mheshimiwa Waziri kutoka Gambia, lakini pia na sehemu ya kile kilichotoka katika wasilisho la Waziri wa Chad. Tumesikia unakuta kitu fulani kinajitokeza ambacho ni cha kufanana kutoka kwa Waziri wa Chad.
Remains the basis for everything
kuwa ni msingi wa kila kitu cha kidijitali.
If a country is not connected, that country is not part, or a community, if a community is not connected, that the Honorable Minister from Chad did mention of the connection gaps that they do have because of trying to obtain bandwidth from other countries that are sea-facing. The same situation would be the case of Malawi and other 16 African countries that are landlocked. If these countries are not connected in an affordable manner, the talk about digitizing Africa will be Africa minus those 16 countries or their communities. We will talk, we will have discussions, we will have deliberations, we will have declarations, but if we do not have decisions made, then the conversation about digital Africa will be a mere talk for other countries. The Honorable Minister from Gambia did touch on the need for us to have one voice when it comes to our technology journey, where other disruptive technologies are being looked at as disruptive in the countries where infrastructure has been laid by other investors in the fiber section, but where there is a country that has not even laid a reliable fiber connectivity, their eyes will be thrown towards alternative technologies like satellite technology. How do we still find countries that are not connected to the fiber or that are not connected to the undersea cables? It is the issue of hazijaunganishwa na mkongo ulio salama. Ni swala la kushirikishana kwa nchi ambazo many thanks to my brother here. And the Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency the President and my President in Malawi, that Malawi now we can access
kwamba sisi Malawi tunaweza kupata
bandwidth through an agreement with TTCL in Tanzania, Excom in Malawi. But if it is not for this kind of agreements, then those countries that
makubaliano haya, nchi zile ambazo hazina bahari zinaachwa nje. Hatuwezi kuacha watu zaidi ya milioni 300. Kwa hiyo ni lazima tujenge mkongo wa uhakika. Kwa sababu nilikuwa hapa wiki 3 zilizopita katika mkutano wa kujifunza kiteknolojia. Unaona changamoto nyingi zinaibuka kwetu sisi katika majukwaa mbalimbali. Tunapokuja katika kujifunza masuala ya kidijitali, unapokuja kwenye usalama wa kimtandao unazungumza lazima kuunganishwa. Hapa tunazungumzia DPI. Bila kuunganishwa majadiliano haya hayatakuwa na jambo la kujifunza wala hata uzinduzi. Wito wangu kwa mawaziri wangu na wabunge kama Afrika lazima tuanze kuwa na mjadala wa Afrika ambapo Afrika yote inapatiliano ya kuunganisha Afrika yote. Afrika itakapounganishwa yote, najua sisi ni nchi huru, lakini
Mtandao sasa hivi ni after we have discussed all these, let's go towards making decisions that we must rally behind, take them to our presidents and say we want a connected Africa. Where should another cyclone hit? Should another tsunami hit? Should another COVID, God forbid, hit? Every African child must remain in school. Because when COVID hit us, other children in other countries will still continue their education. But a child in Africa was not in school. A child in Malawi was not in school.
Uviko ulipokuja watoto wa Tanzania hawakuwa shuleni, wa Malawi hawakuwa shuleni, lakini katika sehemu zingine walikuwa shuleni. Na sisi tunapaswa kupata huduma za afya kupitia njia ya mtandao. Kwa hiyo agenda hii ni majadiliano ya nchi zote za Afrika, kuunganisha Afrika yote. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister,
for that
answer. I just want to summarize what you've said. I'll start with a very key point that you have said,
that
is the importance of creating a platform of conversation on the issue of connectivity in the continent. You have articulated that there are 16 landlocked countries, that when we talk about DPI across the continent, we need to factor on countries that they depend on another country to connect to the global network. You have shown that DPI has been aligned in the national development plans of your country, which is very good. DPI also is aligned with the framework of your digital economy of your country, and you have well articulated the issue of the digital ID of Malawi. You have emphasized that DPI has to be aligned with the long-term sustainability plan of any country. There is the issue of governance, which you have articulated very well about your country, where you have a ministerial committee that is governing the whole structure of it. You have well said about the importance of partnership with the development partners so that we can accelerate the adoption of the DPI in the continent. So, Honorable Minister, thank you very much for those points. So I just want to give you a chance for closing remarks. And in this closing remarks, I have an answer, so everyone will just provide a question so that everybody will provide the answer to this. What model of domestic investment, the role of the minister, and DPI governance that uphold trust and accountability when it comes to DPI. So I'll start with the same protocol of AU. I'll start with Honorable Jelisla of United Republic of Tanzania.
Thank you once again.
Asante sana kwa mara nyingine. Nadhani tumemaliza vipengele vyote katika uwasilishaji, na maoni nafikiri ni kwamba mfumo mzuri ambao utekelezaji wa DPI ni unatokana kuhusu na kuweka mkazo zaidi na uwekezaji katika maeneo ya mabadiliko na utambulisho kwa upande wa serikali na sekta binafsi katika ubadilishaji wa taarifa. Kwa hiyo sekta binafsi ni vizuri iweze kushirikishwa katika kufanya utekelezaji upande huo. Kwa njia hiyo, nadhani kwa hali ya sasa ambapo serikali inasisitiza umuhimu wa kufanya kazi na sekta binafsi, ningevizua vizuri sana, ni mfumo ambao ungesaidia vizuri sana katika kuweka ujumuishaji, kama nilivyosema kwenye hotuba yangu ya ufunguzi, kwamba kila mwelekeo tunaochukua ni kuhusisha wadau wote waweze kushiriki katika mchakato, na hivi ndio ningeweza kupendekeza kwenye mchakato. Lakini pia katika neno la kuhitimisha, ningesisitiza kwamba mawaziri wote hapa kutoka Gambia kama kusema na Malawi, tufanye kazi na tuwe na dhamira ya kisiasa, utashi wa kisiasa, na kusisitiza serikali zetu tuweze kufanya kazi zetu pamoja katika kuweka viwango na mifumo ambayo vinaweza kutekelezeka,
but also to work together with our colleagues who are linked, so that whatever we implement in our countries should be in such a way it connects Africa together. Thank you so much.
Afrika nzima. Asante sana. Nashukuru sana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now I go to the Honorable Minister in the Republic of Chad. The same question, what's the model of domestic investment, the role of the minister, and DPI governance that will build on trust and accountability when it comes to DPI? Honorable Minister, Republic of Chad.
Ningeuza swali hilo kwa Mheshimiwa Waziri,
Deputy Minister of Republic of South
Africa kutoka Afrika Kusini.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
I think maybe
nadhani
conclude in this manner,
Kwa kuhitimisha ningependa
I think I would have grossly misrepresented your country
kuhitimisha kwa kusema
if I did not appreciate
kama kweli
the hospitality by yourself,
ukarimu
and your team, and the beautiful initiatives
na jitihada
you've
nzuri
taken us
ambazo
through,
umechukua ni
which are
nzuri
quite
sana,
very insightful
ambazo
as we go back
kweli
home.
ni za muhimu na nzuri sana.
I think
zinaleta mwanga
when it
mzuri
comes to
inapofika
infrastructure,
kwenye swala la
in particular the TPI,
kuhusu upande wa TPI,
what is urgent
cha muhimu
is
hapa
that
ni kwamba
the entire continent needs to be
bara
connected.
lote linahitaji kuunganika.
That is long overdue.
Hiyo ni
But of course,
sana.
it depends
Hata
a lot
hivyo
on the
inategemea
initiatives that different states
jitihada
take.
ambazo kila nchi inachukua.
But however,
Hata
in the modern
hivyo
era,
katika hali ya sasa
one of the critical issues
kitu ambacho ni cha msingi sana,
I dream of a moment in Africa
ninafikiria
when all schools are
kwamba
connected.
shule zote zingeweza
Because
kuungana,
when all schools are
kwa sababu
connected,
kama shule
it
zote
means the poorest
zingeungana
kid
ni kwamba
have
asiyekuwa
access to
na
internet.
ujuzi mdogo ataweza
that would
pia
be
kupata
productive
internet. Lakini dhahiri
our
kwamba
fiscal space across the continent are not as great as we would want them to.
kwamba nafasi
So the
zetu
issue
kwa
of
upande
private
huu
sector
kwamba upande wa
coming
sekta
in
binafsi
with clear
inapokuja ndani
obligations,
na
which is some of the things
kuna
we've done in our country.
mambo ya kuzingatia
The mobile
kwamba
corporations,
kwa mashirika
we've actually
ya kimtandao
attached obligations to them, in
tumeweza
particular,
kuweka majukumu
which was a condition of accessing
ambayo
the
kuna
spectrum.
masharti.
What am I trying to speak about?
Ninachotaka kuzungumza hapa
We
ni
need
kwamba tunahitaji
to give primacy to connectivity,
kutoa umuhimu kwenye
and anyone who wants
kuunganishwa,
to invest in
na
our
yeyote
country,
anayetaka kuwekeza
his
ndani ya
primary commitment
kitu kwa dhamira
must be the
yake ya
connectivity of the
kwanza ni
country,
kuweza
so
kuunganisha
that
nchi nzima,
as they
ili
make business and profit,
kadiri
they
wanapozidi
must be shared
kuungana waweze
in improving the
kushirikiana
economic value
katika
of the
kuboresha
African countries.
uchumi wa
So I'm
nchi
saying
za Afrika. Kwa hiyo
blended
ninasema kwamba
finances,
kuna upande wa kifedha
very innovative,
ubunifu,
but our focus is that
lakini mwelekeo
all being
msisitizo wetu
connected.
ni
Here's my
kwamba wote
closing
waweze
point is that
kuunganishwa.
the digital economic framework
Mfumo wa
will not
uchumi
advance
wa
if this
kidijitali
problem is not taught in a comprehensive way.
hautaendelea kama
The
hautakuwa
foundational
kamilifu.
infrastructure,
Msingi ni
innovations,
ni ubunifu,
the element of solution-seeking sectors, and at all material terms being measured on the impact it's making on ordinary people.
ambazo zinapatikana kwa watu, mtu wa
Thank you
kawaida.
very much.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy
Asante
Minister.
sana, Mheshimiwa
Now I go to the Honorable
Waziri.
Minister of Republic
Sasa
of the Gambia.
tunakwenda kwa Mheshimiwa
So
Waziri
I
wa
pose the
Gambia.
same type of a question. It's
Swali
talking about
hilo
domestic
hilo
investment, the
kuhusu
role of the
uwekezaji wa
minister,
ndani,
and the governance
wajibu
structure
wa
that uphold trust and
waziri,
accountability when it comes to DPI.
inapofika kwenye DPI.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
In fact, that's what we are currently doing back in the Gambia. As I said, possibly by next week we are signing that agreement. So basically, looking at the ecosystem at the domestic level, it definitely needs to be a PPP model, because who are the stakeholders that are interested in this DPI, digital public infrastructure? It's both the public side as the government side and that of the private sector side. So what we are doing is we make sure that we create a framework, an implementing framework where the government is really leading and the private sector members are down there. But in terms of actually implementing it, for reasons of accountability and making sure that they are within the system itself, we want them to feel that they are the ones doing it. So it's a PPP model where government is in the forefront and they are also down there to do what they can possibly do within the parameters that we set out. But let me also say this as a very short closing remark. Look, I will take the best example of Tanzania as our host country, and it's a beautiful country, and it's a country of almost 65 or over 65 million people. Imagine a situation when Tanzania wants to make sure that almost everything goes online. Your economy starts shifting from the conventional part to the online activity. Everything goes. But of course, there is a concern and there is a risk here. The risk is we know a good number of our own private sector players, operators, they only look at where there is quick and easy return on investment for them. Now, how do you entice them? So, in effect, what I just want to say is this. We need to change the scope, the management, and the administration of our universal service fund frameworks in our respective countries. There are some who have not implemented it. There are some who have. But if you look at what they do, like I asked the gentleman, how much in Tanzania are you asking for the operators to pay? He said the law says 1.5%, but they are now asking for 1.25% instead, which is great. But then now, how do you use that money? Chances are the framework is there, it may be rather limiting, because they're looking at a few areas here and there. We need to revisit that, and then to make sure that it's part of the PPP policy mechanism, whereby a lot of that money could be taken by the government, and even make sure that they feel they are the ones contributing towards it in building this domestically the digital public infrastructure system. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You are honorable for that answer. Now I go to Honorable Minister of the Republic of Malawi.
Thank you very much. I think I'll focus on the role of ministers. I believe ministers can lead in defining what success really looks like for Africa. And in defining that, we have to go beyond just measuring the infrastructure metrics, but also looking at the impact, inclusion, and also the trust. Impact, let us look at the digital systems reaching the people in the rural communities. Are their lives changing? Is there any effectiveness in the application of the digital public infrastructure? Is it changing, transforming the people's lives? And on trust, are the people trusting the systems that are put in place? Because if people are not having trust in the systems that are in place, they will shy away from the digitalization trend, and in the end there will be no results. And to do that trust, it comes from ensuring that we have legal and institutional frameworks that are strong. So as ministers, we can lead in that process of ensuring that we have legal instruments that are strong. We can borrow from best practices that are prevailing in the region and globally, implement those, and build trust in the people. People have the appetite to join the digital trend. And let's ensure that we measure the impact of these interventions and make sure we are inclusive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So to sum up, the important message that we have got from this session is there's a role of minister to ensure that the DPI are working successful, and especially there will be a foundation for building trust to our people. We have seen that PPP and blended financing are important to ensure that we accelerate the adoption of a DPI in the continent. The issue of partnership in connectivity, it has been well articulated by the Honorable Minister in the Republic of Chad and also Honorable Minister from Malawi. There's an issue of common standards, especially when it comes to interoperability, and this was well emphasized by Honorable Minister from the Republic of the Gambia. The issue of language, the issue of governance structure to ensure that this transformation is going as in the speed that the one we want. There's an issue of digital ID and the importance of it. And last but not least is the issue that has to do with disruptive technologies and how these technologies can be used to achieve what we call public good. So with this, I want to thank all the honorable ministers for your insightful discussion and a great point that we are going to take it as a point that will guide us in the continent so that we can be able to create African digital public infrastructure that is going to build on the African free continent of trade areas. So with that, I thank you very much. I've been told that Honorable Minister Chad is online, so I would like to give him a chance so that he can answer the question.
Labda tumpe nafasi aweze kujibu swali hili.
Mesdames,
Mabibi na mabwana,
Monsieur le ministre, je vous remercie beaucoup.
Nashukuru sana kwa
J'ai suivi avec beaucoup d'attention toutes les questions qui ont été posées. Je voudrais d'abord saluer l'esprit de la présidente Samia de la Tanzanie, qui a développé une stratégie assez extraordinaire et que les autres pays africains doivent peut-être suivre. Vous savez que la Tanzanie est un modèle pour nous les autres qui avaient étudié vers les années 60, 70, 80. Avec le père fondateur Julius Nyerere. Et cet esprit de collaboration qui nous permet d'aller un peu plus vite. Pour répondre à cette question, si l'influence externe sur les décisions est stratégique, il faut le renforcement des capacités locales. En investissant localement, le pays peut développer ses propres capacités techniques et des infrastructures, créant ainsi des emplois pour former un main-d'œuvre qualifié. Il faut une stabilité économique. Le financement domestique contribue à stabiliser à long terme. Alors, quelle est la stratégie de financement domestique? Comment on peut réfléchir à ça? Premièrement, il faut une mobilisation de l'épargne intérieure. Deuxièmement, il faut l'incitation fiscale. Il faut mettre en place des exonérations fiscales ou des réductions pour des entreprises et individus qui investissent dans des projets de connectivité numérique. Il faut penser aussi à ceux qui sont dans des zones rurales. Comment faire pour atteindre la connectivité dans des zones blanches? L'aspect énergie est très bon, avec l'arrivée des Starlink que nous pensons mettre ça rapidement, pourra aider la population rurale à avoir accès à la connectivité. Chez nous, par exemple, on a défiscalisé tous les techniques. Tous les smartphones, tout ce qui est téléphone, on n'a pas de taxes numériques. On a défiscalisé tout ce qui est matériaux des énergies renouvelables. Tous les sites aujourd'hui, dans certains opérateurs, et même des privés, il y a un système hybride solaire et puis de diesel. Dans les années à venir, on va complètement mettre tout le système solaire. Le partenariat public-privé est important à mettre en œuvre. Collaborer avec le secteur privé pour partager les coûts. et les risques de projets d'infrastructure numérique. Mesdames et messieurs les ministres, chers collègues, chers homologues, cela peut nous amener à penser à l'utilisation de fonds souverains. Si le Tchad dispose d'un fonds souverain, ceux-ci peuvent être une source de financement pour des projets stratégiques en matière d'éthique. Il faut le microfinancement et les initiatives communautaires. Encourager les solutions de microfinancement pour soutenir les petites et les moyennes entreprises. Il faut sixièmement, enfin, je termine, émettre les obligations pour financer les projets d'infrastructure numérique. Ces obligations pourraient être soutenues par l'État et orientées par les investisseurs locaux. Pourquoi pas ne pas faire un travail local qui met confiance les PTF, les partenaires techniques et financiers, en charge du renforcement des capacités des jeunes et des femmes. Pour déclencher leur potentiel. Il y a l'aspect important qui est également le partage des infrastructures entre les opérateurs. Cela peut réduire les coûts des investissements. Chers homologues, pour terminer, je vous invite. Le Tchad est en train de se préparer pour l'intelligence artificielle. Un forum au Tchad, probablement dans les mois à venir. Vous serez tous invités pour découvrir le pays de Toumaï. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and especially for emphasis that you have put on the local financing to DPI and the readiness of your country, especially when it comes to adoption of AI. So with that, I thank all Honorable Ministers for insightful discussion that we have, and I also thank African IGF delegates who are here and the audience that has been attentive with us in all this discussion. With that, I thank you very much.
Let's give honorable ministers a big round of applause. Please stand up for a group photo. And then, honorable ministers, I will request you to kindly take your seat again. Just the ministers on the high table. You will take a quick photo with the local organizing committee team. Can the local organizing committee hurry up to the stage? Moses, local organizing committee, hurry up to the stage for a quick photo. Announcement number 1. If your lunch coupon is written Kilimanjaro, you will exit through these doors here and go up the 3rd floor. The rest of us, parking is right behind the registration booth. Kindly take a note of that. Lunch will be for 45 minutes. Lunch will be for 45 minutes. So at exactly 3:45, let us go to our respective breakaway sessions. This will continue up until tomorrow, rest of the day. We reconvene at